Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing? Thank you, Darkspace, for resubscribing. Dude, you've been subscribed for a whole year. That's incredible, because I just enabled subscriptions last year, and I have not been streaming at all this year, except for Advent of Code stuff. So, big thanks, man. That's huge. Appreciate it. That's super cool of you. Yeah, I'll probably get started in like 5-10 minutes. So I'll probably just play some piano. I got a nice frozen pizza I warmed up over here, so I'm eating my dinner. And yeah, we'll get started. And the nice thing is we're not racing these days, so I'll be able to go slow and kind of talk through my process, which I know a lot of people enjoy. So until then, boom, look at that. Hey, what's up, Minnie? How you doing? Darkspace, you totally were. It was awesome. You were there that day I had to actually set up subs, which was a nightmare. I had to do it on a completely different tab. Twitch just likes to put like your full government name and like your entire docs right on the screen. It's awesome. Yo, what's up, Def Dog? How you doing? I'm your Bash hero? Thank you. What a nice compliment. That's super cool. Let's switch keys. I was playing C. How about some G minor? Wait, what was it? Yo, Pasty64, thank you for the sub, the tier 1 sub on Twitch. I appreciate that. That's super nice. We got a hype train going over there. That's pretty exciting. But don't feel pressure to donate or sub or do anything. I like it. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to push that on you guys. I'm just here to code and have fun. Weird Vim theme, black and white like that. I know. Isn't that crazy? That's so dumb. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, dude, same. Let's see. I don't know why I put pizza in my mouth just to start reading out loud. That's super annoying. Also eating on stream. Sorry, guys. Probably really gross and annoying. Finished day 6 earlier, but I still haven't done day 2, part 2. I was overcomplicating it, but I feel like I just don't know how to approach that problem. Not going to look at solutions. Well, hey, I respect you for not looking at the solutions, because that's exactly how I feel. I don't want anyone to rob me of that feeling of, like, finally getting it. I don't remember what day 2 is off the top of my head. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'm just going to go look it up so I remember what day 2, part 2 was. Wasn't I already on this page? Oh, I'm dumb. What is day 2, part 2? Day 2 is, oh my god, this one. Yeah. Ew. Yeah, I won't spoil anything. I won't even make any comments about this one. Just, yeah. When I remember when I got to part 2, I was like, oh, come on, ew. That's what I'll say about that one. Let's see. Taking the really hot and cool systems administrator in a couple of weeks. Well, listen, I consider myself a really hot and cool system administrator. So if I can get that certification, I think you can too. So good luck. I appreciate that. Also, yeah, good luck with Red Hat. Day 2 part 2 was easy for you, but you got stuck on day 5 part 2 for many hours. I think I did too. I think day 5 part 2 was the one that like one-shot me. And I always feel bad because it makes for bad content. I'm just kind of frustrated in programming. I don't mind it, but I worry about the people watching me. Like, I don't mind getting frustrated and going heads down. But yeah, I think that's the one that like one-shotted me. But if I remember, Bad Cop struggled with either day 2 or day 3. She really got one shot by that, and I got one shot by like day 5. So that's the thing about like Advent of Code. Like, you might breeze through a problem and someone else will completely struggle on it, but then the opposite is totally true. Like, you'll just get completely decimated by a problem. Someone else like, oh, this is easy. And it's like frustrating. Like, what do you mean it's easy? It's like, meh, it's all right. Just let it go. Like, you'll figure it out eventually. Like, in my mind, I'm always competing against myself. So that's like my real competition there. Today's part 2 I might not even do. Hey, I haven't even seen what today... Well, oh, when you say today, do you mean Puzzle 7? I just assumed you meant Puzzle 8, which isn't out yet. For anyone watching, Puzzle 8 is out in 3.5 hours. Hi, Dave. Yo, what's up? Johnny J 2x5H. How you doing? Oh, I'm pizza now, but 1:30 a.m. might not be the time. I've definitely had a 1:30 a.m. pizza. It's pretty good. This is just a frozen pizza I got from the grocery store, and it's incredible. Shout out Target Pizza. Day 4 part 2 was rough for me. Even looked at some hints, but it legit took me an hour just to understand what they were saying. Day 4. Which one was day 4? I remember all the puzzles. I should remember which one it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This one was weird. I have to go back. Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. I just realized you can't actually see my screen. Day 4 was the forklifts and like the roll of paper that need to be accessed by the forklifts. That one I got, but I'm glad I got, because if my answer was wrong, I had a lot of questions about the puzzle. I was like, what? Like, it was a little bit confusing. I went down the first rough idea I had, because it's like, no, I wasn't in a race in this one. I don't remember. It worked out for me, so I got lucky there. Like, I really got lucky. If it didn't work out, I would have been confused by it. Day 7 part 2 is scary. Prepare for quantum physics. I'm screwed. I think we'll get started in like 1 minute. Get started. Part 1 I got in like 10 minutes total. Easy peasy. Part 2 just broke my potato brain. That's what I love about Advent of Code. The less words in part 1... Well, that's not true. Part 1s are deceptively easy, and the easier part 1 feels, the more you're going to be screwed with part 2. And the second thing that's also true is the less words in part 2, the more you are screwed. When part 2 just has like one sentence, you're like, I'm done. Like, I'm toast. That got me. Yo, what's up, Curtis? How you doing? Hey, man, just discovered you a few days ago, and you've convinced me to brew install bash tomorrow at work. Let's go. Get that bash 5.3. That's the way to do it. You got really cool stuff there. Hey, I'm glad I can make a difference for the people out there. Day 7 part 2 just had some confusing wording. Wasn't that hard past that. Okay, cool. Let me see. I'm also, so this is weird. I'm keeping track of my subscriber count on YouTube, which unfortunately they don't make public the like actual high resolution subscriber count. So all you guys see is 65.5K subscribers. I have 65,504. and I want to catch it when it's 65,535 or 536. I want to screenshot it there so I can share it on my socials and be like, hey guys, we have like a full 16-bit worth of people subscribed. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, nerdy milestone. So I'll be trying to capture that as I go along. So every 20 minutes or so, if you guys want to remind me like, hey, check your sub count, like that'd be awesome. You don't have to do that. I'll try my best to remember. Yeah, we'll get started soon. I might go down and get a drink. Well, I'll do part 1 and then I'll go get another drink. I have a water. I should drink water. That's good for me. And I'll go down and get my 0 sugar cream soda. Let's see. Day 5 could have been tricky if I hadn't done similar code so many times for previous AOC puzzles. I've heard of that. Like even Bad Cop recognized some stuff from day 5 where she was like, oh yeah, I remember doing this in 2023. I was like, I did not do 2023. So you have a leg up on me there. Also, I mean, computer science is a broad thing. So like when it comes to 2D mazes and breadth first and depth first and all that stuff, pathfinding, I love that stuff. I might eat these words later. I love that stuff. I think that stuff is a ton of fun and I'm very comfortable with it. When it comes to set theories and stuff like that and data structures for optimizing information, stuff like that, I'm not that great at it. I know it's a very general thing, but like I'm thinking of one of the puzzles. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but like sometimes when set theory gets involved and I have to start taking intersections and unions, I'm a little bit screwed there. But when it's like 2D mazes, I feel pretty confident. You know, sometimes I get destroyed by them. Let's see. I have PTSD from 2023 day 5 part 2. Well, listen, after this, I plan on going through all of the years. I want to start with 2015 day 1. So once I'm finished with this, I'll probably take like a week or 2 break and then jump at it and start doing this. Not as regular, not like every single night, but maybe like once a week or something I'll do it because these puzzles are just too much fun. And I can fit that into my schedule of making content and working a full-time job and being an adult. It sucks, man. There's too much stuff to do. Yo, Oxac, how you doing? Ox53C. What a sick name, actually. I like that name. I think that's like the best name. Like it's very tech nerdy, but it's not like what's the word? You suck at programming, the normies understand what's going on. Oxac kind of flies under the radar, and I think that's pretty cool. So how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, we're doing some Advent of Code puzzle challenges, programming puzzles in Bash. So we're doing it for the memes. Have you learned any new Bash tricks in the last year that make this year easier? Yes. Yes, I have. I had a video where I talked about, there was a new Bash release since last year to this year. Bash was on 5.2 last year. It is on 5.3 now. I made a video where I covered those changes. And the biggest change is being able to do command expansion, or sorry. Is it command expansion? What's the word? No. Command substitution. Sorry. I'll show you. It's easier if I just show you. Let me go to the main layout here. Let me pull up the, let me turn off that. Let me pull up the terminal here. I'll show you. You know how in Bash I can do like S equals, then I could put a command in here. So I could put like uname in here and then I can echo $S and there's uname. Well, that uname runs in a subshell because of that $ parenthesis notation. This runs in a subshell, meaning it can't modify global variables, and there is a fork and exec that happens there from your operating system. When you start nesting things like this, it gets very slow. They added a new syntax where you use a curly brace instead, and you just have to put a semicolon here, and you have to put a space at the beginning. So it's kind of weird syntax, but I can do this, and it gets me the same result, but it runs in the same context as the main script, meaning I can modify global variables, I can set data there, I can run without the cost of a fork and exec for my operating system. So I can make things run a lot faster, which is very, very nice. Yeah, so happy for that. Doing good, bro. Miss hanging out here. Yo, well, welcome, man. You are here. Feel free to stay as long as you would like. Let's see. Actually, I might have something for you. Hold on. I got something for you before I jump in. I think you will appreciate this. Let's see. Check this out. You ready for this? There we go. Look at that. So now we got the piano set up here, and I know you and I are both fans of him, so I got you here. What else do we got? What else we got? I don't have a big enough piano for this, so you just have to imagine it's a lot bigger. What else do we have? Oh man, Killing Loneliness. This just brings back like high school memories, man. What a great band. I love this band so much. Yeah, dude. Join Me in Death, Heartache Every Moment. These songs are so good. Like him is such a like. I don't want to say underrated because they are pretty popular, but they're still underrated. They are so good. What are some other songs? I used to remember how to play The Sacrament. There's got to be some more songs that I'm not thinking about. Oh, man, what else do I know on the piano? I don't know. I'll remember them as I come up with them. Obviously, I can play a couple on guitar, but piano's more my bread and butter. God, yeah, what a just great band. Oh, I got some Muse too. Or Sunburn. Oh wow, every note was wrong there. Chasing that guitar tone forever, man. Yeah, that Fender Rhodes sound. I don't know about that. I don't know about that just because like I know very little about guitar, but I mess with some knobs until I can get kind of a tone that sounds good. So yeah. Let's see. Hearing you play over the last few streams, you have a lot of tunes that are close to the piano building tracks from the Sims 1 game. Do you know any of them? I don't know any of them. I have no idea what those songs are. So that must have been completely by accident that happened. I really have never played The Sims. I've seen people play it and stuff, and I've like watched people play. I couldn't tell you any of the music from it. I recently did a decently sized project in Pure Bash and referenced the manual regularly to help. Every time I think I'm familiar with Bash, you always find something new. No, it's really true. Especially because like I'm friends with Bad Cop, and she knows some very esoteric Bash, and the people in her chat know even more. So she's showing me syntax. It's not even in the manual. It's been deprecated, but the language still supports it. I'm like blown away by it. Like things where I'm like, don't do this, but wow, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll look that up. That's super interesting. Like I love seeing things with like similar tones. Yeah. All right. We should probably get started here, shouldn't we? Look at us. We're just dawdling here. It is... Okay, we're good. We got a couple hours till the new puzzles drop. So let's go over here to the main layout. Here we are. Let's pull up the web browser. And you guys ready? Let's do day 6. We're doing Advent of Code 2025, day 6. And we are not racing this time, so we're going to go nice and slow. Let's have some fun, everyone. Day 6, Trash Compactor. After helping the elves in the kitchen, you were taking a break and helping them reenact a movie scene when you overenthusiastically jumped into the garbage chute. I wonder what scene we were reenacting. A brief fall later, you find yourself in a garbage smasher. Unfortunately, the door has been magnetically sealed. Uh-oh. As you try to find a way out, you are approached by a family of cephalopods. They're pretty sure they can get the door open, but it will take some time. While you wait, they're curious if you can help the youngest cephalopod with her math homework. Oh god, no, references a previous puzzle. I can't wait to go through these. Cephalopod math doesn't look that different from normal math. The math worksheet, your puzzle input, consists of a list of problems. Each problem has a group of numbers that need to be either added or multiplied. Cool, just basic symbols. I like this. I do like that Eric doesn't throw any like trick problems at you. It's not like plus sign means multiplication. Like he keeps this stuff exactly how you expect, so the puzzles can be more difficult. That's what I appreciate about it. Yo, hi Dave, and I suck at programming. You suck at programming. What's up? What's up, everybody? It's okay, I suck at programming too. You're about to watch that in real time. I figure if I'm gonna make a channel called You Suck at Programming, I better be able to program for you guys live. Okay, like I better absolutely be able to do that, or else like what am I doing here? Let's see. However, the problems are arranged a little strangely. They seem to be presented next to each other in a very long horizontal list. Okay, a little bit confusing there. Each problem's numbers are arranged vertically. At the bottom of the problem is the symbol for the operation that needs to be performed. Problems are separated by a full column of only spaces. The left-right alignment of numbers within each problem can be ignored. Oh yeah, there's like spaces here. That's weird. So this is, there's like, should be, well, like you wouldn't put a 0 here. So this one, okay. There's some weird alignment going on here. I hope this doesn't bite me later, but there's some weird alignment going on here, but we can ignore it, so that's fine. Bash can do that just fine. So this worksheet contains the 4 problems. 1, 2, 3 times 4, 5 times 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God. Okay, this is easy. We just go down the column. Okay. We go column by column, applying this operation everywhere. So we initialize it to 1, 2, 3, then we multiply 45, then we multiply 6. Initialize to 328, multiply 64, multiply 98. Okay. We just have to rotate the file 90 degrees. I don't know an easy way to do that, so we're going to do this super manually. Each problem's numbers are arranged vertically. At the bottom of the problem is the symbol. I think I already read this. So the worksheet contains 4 problems, very basic. To check their work, cephalopods are given the grand total of adding together all the answers to the individual problems. In this worksheet, the grand total is all these numbers. Okay, cool. Of course, the actual worksheet is much wider. You'll need to make sure to unroll it completely so you can read the problems clearly. Solve the problems in the math worksheet. What is the grand total? Okay, I mean, this seems straightforward, right? It doesn't seem too scary. I like this. I already know how to approach this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to copy this over. Here, I'll show you my terminal so we can do some real work here. Let's make dir day 06. So now we have day 06. We're going to vim example input.text. There we go. Oh, wow, there is some still white space there. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to get the puzzle input so I can get my real puzzle input. That's a lot of numbers. And I'm not going to show this to you guys. This is a secret here. Unshare the terminal, vim real input.text. Paste that in there. That took a long time. Save it and bring back up the terminal. Okay, so there are there's only 5 lines in the real input. I guess there's just a lot. It just goes very far. Let me head -1 the example input pipe to word count -c. There's 16 characters in a single row. If I do that to the real input there, okay, I see. So there's a lot of characters in the real input. That's fine. Let's see. There was a puzzle in 2023, maybe 2024, where plus meant concatenation. Okay, that's still okay. I'm okay with that. That's fine. If plus meant like modular division, I'd be like, okay, guys, that's a little weird. Programming is easy. You just need to type on the keyboard in the correct order. That's what I tell everyone. Piano's easy, man. You want to play piano? You just got to hit the buttons at the right time. Like, come on, how hard is that? I'm like half joking. So let's go ahead and let's start working on this. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at our example. I don't like this. I'm getting a warning on YouTube that my bitrate is too low. Well, if you're on YouTube, let me know if the quality is like decent. I should be streaming at 1080p on a decent bitrate. It looks like my bitrate fell a little bit. I'm sure it's not really a problem. I also do locally record all this stuff. So the nice thing is I can, when I cut these up into edited videos, I just have the local recording. So I always have the highest quality. Let's see. Press rush E in the right order then. Here, okay, dark space, here's something legitimately, that I mean legitimately. That song's hard, obviously. I think it was meant to be a meme. But if you do want to learn a song, learn to play it in the right order as slowly as it takes you. So slow it down as slow as you need to get it until you can play it, then play it perfectly, and speed will just come naturally as a byproduct. Quality is fine on YouTube. You look fine. Well, oh, thank you. What a nice compliment. No, okay, awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Let's go ahead and let's start coding, huh? Let's vim part 1. User bin env bash. Wow, I can type. You know what it is? I was looking at OBS to make sure my quality was right. So I was watching my input through OBS and there's like a slight delay. So I'm like watching myself type and it's just not coming out right. That's dumb. So the live YouTube view, it's just me with the Snapchat filter. Incredible. So there's a couple ways we can do this. We could read line by line, but then we won't have the height of the file. I think the best thing to do is to map this into an array. Read the whole file into memory, basically. I'll show you what I mean. We have a map file built into bash, -t to trim off new lines, and let's call this input. That will just read standard in and map it to input, and then we'll go ahead and we'll var dump it. Now, if you've been in my streams, you know this, but I have some library code called var dump that I wrote. It's a pure bash program to dump a variable so we can see what's going on inside it. So let's go ahead. Let's pull in var dump. And then we can just var dump input. So if we run this, we should see what the input looks like. I will show you guys. I can already picture in my head, but I want to show you guys what we're seeing. Here we go. We have an array. Array spot 0 is the first line of the file. Array spot 1 is this. Array spot 2 is this. Array spot 3 is this. Let's go ahead and load this into an array. So I'm picturing an array of numbers. So I'm picturing numbers at array spot 0 will be equal to 1, 2, 3, space 4, 5, space 6. And then also operations at spot 0 will be equal to star. So we'll have an array of all of the numbers. So array spot 0 will be these 3. Array spot 1 will be these 3. And then we'll have the same array with the same index, but that will give us the operation that we need to do. That's how I think we're going to read this in. Hi, Dave. You racing tonight with Bad Cop when a new day drops? I don't know yet. I haven't actually talked to her. I will. I'm down if she is. Like, I am absolutely down to race if she is down to. So, yeah, pretty much that. Also, we'll see how far I can get in these puzzles. Hopefully, I can solve these in any sort of meaningful time. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's get the length of the array. Len equals the length of input. And now we know the operations are at length minus 1. I don't know why this puts me on a new line. Something changed with the syntax editor that's not quite right. So let's go ahead and make a new variable called numbers, a new variable called oppers for operations. Let's get rid of this var dump. We don't need it. And then we can do this. So we have numbers, we have oppers. Now that we have the len, we can say, yeah, okay. So for I equals 0, I less than len minus 1. We don't want the operations. I plus plus do numbers at I plus equal the, oh, we have to break the input apart. Okay, let me think about this. So if we're at the first element of the array, it'll be like some numbers we have to break apart by spaces, so we have to read them into an array. Oh boy, it just gets confusing here. Let's read the first line of input into an array. We have a string of the line of input, now we're gonna read it into an array. So let's see what that looks like. So columns for the different columns. And read it in from input I. Okay. Let's be more verbose. Line equals input I. There we go. We got the line out of it. Turn the line into an array of columns. That's awesome. Now we have that. So numbers I plus equal columns at I with a space. And then done. So read the numbers, now read the operations. So very similar here. Now that we have this, let's go ahead and get the line at the input of not I, we want len minus 1 to get the last element of the array. We can actually index the array backwards. We can get just minus 1 here like this. And now that we have that, we can read that into oppers. Oh yeah, we don't even have to define oppers. We can just read that into that. This is a little bit confusing. Let me go ahead and var dump these so we can see what's going on here. Let's see. I can race you dark space. Listen, if you're a streamer and you want to jump in on this, I mean, that'd be kind of fun. Bad Cop, I'm already done. Too slow. Listen, take your W, okay? Take your W from 2 days ago, and you're welcome. Let's var dump numbers, and let's var dump oppers for operations. I've been enjoying watching your bash scripting advent of code. I've never tried them, but I'm thinking of it, but I'm more Python. Listen, any language, you don't even need a language. You can do Excel or spreadsheets or print things out and do them by hand. Use whatever you want. It's all valid. I'm glad I could inspire you. I would say go try it. It's a ton of fun. All right, so we have 2 arrays. This one's wrong, and this one has the operation. So if we look at the example input, it should be star plus star plus, star plus star plus. Hey, that's good. The first part's a little bit broken, but let's figure that out. So we have numbers I plus equal, numbers at I plus equal. Is this valid syntax? I think this is valid syntax. Now it would help if I defined columns somewhere. I think that would help a ton. So let's go ahead and do that. Line equals input at I and columns read dash RA columns, and we have to push this into We have to loop over the columns and push it in. Oh, okay, I have to think about this. Let's see. Since you're not doing AOC++, yeah, that's right. If you can solve day 7 before midnight, you beat me, TBH. Wait, we'll see. We'll see if I can do that. All right, let me do day 6 part 1 first. Dude, I finally caught it live. I love your videos. They're incredibly fun. Yo, Stumbles, appreciate it, man. That's awesome. That's super cool to hear. AOC and Pure Vim, I'm sure there's someone who's done that, but not me. Let's see. Day 7, 2022, part 2, introduce concatenation as third operation. And concatenation is simple, which is weird. Yeah, that's super weird. Do me a favor, though. Don't talk about... Oh, that's 2024. Sorry. I was going to say if it was 2025, don't spoil it, but that's 2024. I'm fine with that. Sorry. Keep the You Suck programming. It's great. Listen, I got such overwhelming, like, positive reviews from that video. I think I have to. I was surprised at how many people really, really liked it. Let's see. All right. I'm on fire. Let me take this off. Let me see what we're doing. We're reading through it line by line. We have the first line, and we've broken it into columns. That's really great. We need to take the first column, and we need to shove it into the number that's there. We need to take the second column, and we need to shove it into this number that's there. Okay, so we need a second loop. We need the len of the columns. So for j equals 0, j less than the len of the columns at I, j plus plus, do numbers j plus equal columns j. I think that's right. Let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, we have the first array spot 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the operation is star. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 2, 8, 6, 4, 9, 8. Awesome. 5, 1, 2, 1, 5. And we're missing the last thing, so I just have some sort of stupid off by 1 going on here. How do I have an off by 1 here? Let me think about this. Let me reach out. I'll spoil this one. You have to do math. Mods, delete her. That's insane. Destroy her world anchor. Yo, what's up, John Doe? How you doing? So what are we doing? When we push into numbers, we are not getting to the final one there, which probably means that we need to do this. And now we don't quite get there. What are we doing wrong? I have to think about this before I just start throwing random solutions at it. Hold on, I'm just doing bad math right now. Let me do some good programming. Because this should have been the easy part. 1, 2, 3, let me get example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 8. Okay, so that's being read properly. And then we need to loop through every single one of those columns and then store that in the numbers array. Yeah, numbers at j plus equal the columns at, that's not right. That's right. That's what I'm doing. I'm not actually getting the length of it. I was getting the length of I there. Okay. All right, this looks a lot better, doesn't it? Look, we have 0 to 3 here, 0 to 3 here. We have 3 different numbers that we need to run an operation on. Like, we're good. We're really good. You're a better man than I am. I'll start randomly changing -1s and greater than signs when that happens. You have to stop and think. Like, I've been there too, and if I'm on a race, I'll do it. But you gotta stop and think, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, sometimes you can get lucky and brute force that way, but a lot of times you can't. So, yeah, you gotta slow down. I've learned by getting screwed over by some of these things. Like, that's the right approach. Even though it sucks sometimes, you gotta do it that way. You gotta be boring about it. So now we have numbers. Now we have operations. We can basically do this. Process each number. So we can do total equals 0 for I equals 0, I less than length of, we can do numbers or operations, it doesn't matter here. I plus plus, do, done. Let's get the numbers out of it. Okay, now we have the elements that we need to process. So we can do this. We can do operation equals oppers at spot I. This should also be spot I. So we have the elements and we have the operation that we need to do. So let's see. Sup again. Yo, how you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. Let's see. In a race, what does that mean? Sometimes I'm racing these puzzles against a fellow creator named Bad Cop who's in the chat. Right now, we're not in a race. I'm doing puzzles from 2 days ago, so I can go as slow as I want. I can take my time and think about this stuff. I'm not racing anyone. I'm not going against the clock here. That's what I mean by that. So now that we have the elements, let's do this. Let's set our init. Let's initialize something to the elements at spot 0. And then we'll do for j equals 1. We're going to skip over 0. J less than the number of elements there are. Let me actually do the right syntax here. J++. Do. Done. Okay, and then we will do the operation on that. So case operation in, if it's a star, then we will say init times equal, let's do this. Element equals elements at spot j. And if it's a plus sign, then we will say init plus equal element. There we go. Put a nice little ESAC here to close the case. And then when we get down here, we can say total plus equal init. There we go. So that should work. Now we can just say echo total is total. Yeah, dude, I felt the same way about case and putting star in quotes like that. It's the right way, but it feels so wrong. It feels like a glob. A wildcard 427777556. 427777556. I might have said one more 7 that's actually there. So that's the right answer. So let's go ahead and go to the real input, pipe that into part 1. And we get the total is this large giant number. So let's go ahead and pull the web browser back up, take that big number, put it in here, hit enter. Let's go. Let's go. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Let's go. Let's go. Easy, easy. Whew. W. Boom. We got it. Easy. Easiest star of my life. That's not true. Cool. I'm scared for part 2, but let's go ahead and read part 2 here. What do we have here? The big cephalopods come back to check on how things are going. When they see that the grand total doesn't match the one they expected by the worksheet, excuse me, it did match, they realize they forgot to explain how to read the cephalopod math. Okay, cool. Get ready for new math. Cephalopod math is written right to left in columns. Right to left, okay. Each number is given in its own column with the most significant digit at the top and the least significant digit at the bottom. I don't understand. Let me keep reading. Problems are still separated with a column consisting only of spaces, and the symbol at the bottom of the problem is still the operator used. Here's the worksheet again. Reading the problem right to left 1 column at a time, the problems are 4 plus 431 plus 623. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. So the 4, this 4 right here, is this 4 right here at the end. The 431 is 431, and the 623 is the 623. Okay. I see the issue. Okay. I get the issue. Okay, how do we separate these? Because they're separated by spaces, but they also contain significant spaces, so I have to look at the numbers. Because, yeah, they might have spaces at the end, and they might have spaces at the beginning. Oh my god. So the hardest part is really going to be parsing this puzzle thing out. Okay. Okay. This is a tough one, but I understand what it wants me to do. This is clever, because I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Let me look at this example input. Notice how I look at this and I can see that I can easily visually see that this takes up 3 columns. Well, this one, if I start at this number, I can't visually see it takes up 3 columns. I just see some weird stuff. So just because I see a space doesn't mean we're on to the new problem now. So the hardest part is going to be... No, I'm lying to you. I can just look at the operations. The operations actually give everything away. Let me tail -1 the real input and make sure that the number of spaces between the operations is... I think we're okay. Let me do this. I have a little script called limit columns. I'm going to cat the real input, but I'm going to pipe it to limit columns, and that will limit it to only the visible columns that are on my screen. So I can see that, yes, okay. So the number of spaces at the end of the operation is the thing that's going to matter here. So we will use the operation line to figure out what is happening here. Okay, CP part 1 to part 2, Vim part 2. Okay, so we got all this, we read it in. This doesn't work because we throw away the spaces. We can't do this yet. We have to read the operations first in part 2. That's what we have to do. Not only do we have to read the operations, we have to figure out how many spaces are between them and keep track of significant spaces. So we have numbers. We also need spaces. We're going to keep track of how many spaces are between operations. So we have to parse this line by line. Yeah, that's what we have to do. Okay. Read the operations to figure out spacing. Okay. For I equals 0, I less than... We're going to get the length of the line. I plus plus. Do. Done. We will say C equals line at spot I:1. So we're going to extract the character. This might not make sense what's going on here. I'm going to put an exit here so we can see it. Let's go ahead and echo the C. So we can say char equals $C. Let's go and run the example input, pipe it into part 2. And we can see that we are reading the operation line here one by one. So here we go. Yo, oh my God, Old Man Bird, thank you for the $5 super chat in the YouTube chat. That is super cool. That's incredible. Just finished Pearson's Red Hat 9 RHCSA certification study guide. A lot of practice to go. Love your iNote and other videos. Yo, appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck on the certification. I think that's awesome. That's super cool that you're working on that. Thank you for that compliment, dude. I'm glad you got something out of the iNote video. That was a fun video to make because I got to make that whole visualizer thing. iNotes are one of those things that confused me when I first learned them. But once I learned how to visualize them, I'm like, they're not that bad. They're really not that bad. So, yo, I appreciate you saying that. So let's see. All right. Here we go. We got to do this. We got to lock in. Let's lock in. Lock in. Okay. So now we have our operations here, and we're looping them character by character. So we should probably assert, I think the first character will always be something. Yeah. So let's set an index that we care about to -1. Oh, God. Just bear with me here. If the... Let's do the case the character is in a plus or a star, meaning it is a valid operation, then we will do the index plus plus. That's what we will do. And then we will... Should we just break out of this? And if it's not, then we need to do some processing. We need to keep track of it. Okay, this is easy. This is easy. We'll do index plus plus. And if it's a space, then we know that it's a number of spaces. So we will do spaces at index plus plus that. And then we will have all of the spaces at the end of it. The problem is we're going to be off by 1. We'll have to figure out how to do that. But the problem is we're going to be off by 1. Let's see. Hey, love your video. Shell scripting is super fun. Yo, welcome. Appreciate it. What a nice compliment. That's super awesome. Yeah, welcome to the stream where we're doing Advent of Code in a language you probably shouldn't be doing it in, but you know, here we are. No, I love Bash. I absolutely love Bash. What we could do is we could clean up the spaces. Like, we could clean up the spaces. There's a couple ways we could clean up spaces. We could peek ahead. We could look ahead to see if it's operation there. We could also just subtract 0 from everything except the last element. And I think we're going to go with that solution. That sucks, but let me explain my thinking here. So there are 3 spaces after the first operation, as you can see here. There are 3 spaces after the first operation here. There are 3 spaces after the first operation here. And there are 2 spaces after this operation. Now the thing is... Oh, wait a minute. We're not counting the operation in the spaces. No, we're going to be fine. We just have to increment the last one by 1. Oh, I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm the best programmer that's ever lived. Because the operation counts as a space. We're not counting it. We're going to be off by 1. So it's just the last element that's going to be off by 1. We got this. Guys, this is easy. This is easy. So what this reads as is every single number in the example input is a 3-digit number. 3-digit, 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 3-digit. That's amazing. So if we ran this on the real input, we get a bunch of crap. Oh, I just catted to the screen. I'm super dumb. This is the weirdest way I've seen anyone do this, not gonna lie. Listen, I approach things... It's the tortoise and the hare, man. I approach things like the tortoise. I will get it to work, but it will be slow, and we will get there one step at a time. But it is the goated way of programming because you can avoid getting stuck in a lot of ways. I love it. Yeah, there you go. There's the number of spaces in each digit. Now that we know that, we need to pad the numbers. Pad the numbers. Do, 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 do. Pad the number. So catchy. This stuff was an afterthought for me. Yeah, dude, it would screw you up if you didn't come up with it. If you didn't handle it like this. This is the same way I did it. Listen, Bad Cop, you might be outnumbered. I think you are. I think you're more unique and novel in your programming approach than you realize. Cave Rim 2 mentioned. That's right, guys. If you haven't played Cave Rim, go play Cave Rim, the game Cave Rim. If you haven't played Cave Rim 2, go play that game. It's incredible. It's one of Bad Cop's creations. She makes some insanely wild and fun games. Wild, absolutely wild game. It's so funny. Let's figure out what we're gonna do here. Oh, almost certainly we're massively overcomplicating it. I'm not shocked that that's the case. I had other solutions. Like, don't get me wrong. There were other things I didn't vocalize. Like, we could have just read it column by column and gone down. Oh, there was a number in the column, then we have another digit. There was a number in the column, we have another digit. Once we encounter a column of all spaces, if I were to just rotate this file and hit all spaces, then I know that it doesn't matter. So we could have done that. That is a thing that could have been done. But now that we know the number of spaces, we're going to go through and we're going to process it. The way we're going to process it, first thing we're going to do is we're going to unset the line at -1. We're going to get rid of the operations. There we go. Now we no longer have that operation line. So if we var dump input, let's just make sure this works as expected with the example input. Then we get that. We get the full input with their spaces intact, which is beautiful. And we don't have any operations. So I wish Bash had a transpose. Exactly. This would have fixed that problem. Well, I would have just like solved it so fast. No, I really did want to search Cave Room. Yeah. Bad Cop, just dump a link to your link to your games or whatever. Like, feel free. I don't care if you dump links in here. Let's see. Now that we have that, we have to go through and we have to read the number of spaces based on the number of spaces that we saw there. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and loop the numbers. Loop the numbers. Okay. Okay, line is that. We have the line, and now we have the spaces. The space is spaces at I. And we're not going to read it column by column. That is the wrong way to do it. We need to start subscripting it. Okay. Oh, you can't see the terminal. My bad. I'm stupid. Yeah, my bad. I didn't make too many changes here. let's see. I unset this last element of input, so we got rid of the operations. I get the length of input. Now I'm looping over the input file. So we're still looping the input file. We're looping this, then this, then this. That's what we're looping. So now we have to figure out what to do when we loop each line. So we have to extract the numbers out of the line. And the way we can do that is by getting the, set the index to 0. We'll get the line at spot J, and the way we can do that is by using the substring notation J for 1. And no, we don't have to do that. We have the index. Oh my god, we know this. This is great. So the starting index, start index is 0, and the end, I have to think about this. Num index is 0. I have to think about. I just need better variables here. This is annoying. So we know we have the line and we know how much we need to read out of it. Now we need to loop over the number of numbers that there are. So the number of spaces is how many there are. So for j equals 0, j less than the number of spaces. J++, do, echo, J, done. Let's go ahead and comment this out for now. And let's throw just an exit here. And this will just give us some insight into what we're doing here. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay. A little bit confusing. Yo, what's up, Dave? No race today? No, I'm starting early because I missed these 2 days. I was out of town. So I was out of town visiting a friend, and now I'm here. So we're catching up. I'm doing day 6 right now. I will do day 7, assuming I have time. And if I'm still up for it, if I'm still around at midnight, I could totally see doing day 8. If Bad Cop wanted to race, if she's down for it, I would be down for it. Well, let me get back to you in a couple hours and let you know if I'll be down for it. We'll see if any one of these just starts one-shotting me. You know what I mean? So let's get the... What is spaces? I already forgot what spaces is. Hold on. For number 0, there's 3 spaces. For number 1. Okay, so space is just... Okay. Oh, I don't know about that with day 8. No, so we don't want this. We just want to get the line. There we go. Now we have the line. We have the current index we're on. And then we need to get the number of spaces. So the spaces is this, num idx. So that's how many spaces there are in it. So let's go ahead and get the num out of it, which is the line substring from we have the index. Let's do this. Sub start equals 0. There's a lot of variables to keep track of. These are super stupidly dumb. We'll start it at sub start and we will go till space. So that's how many spaces there are in this. And now that we've done that, we can do sub start plus equal space plus 1 because of that 1 extra space. It's very confusing. I know that. Now we can do numbers. We need to come up with a separator character. Super annoying, but we're here. Numbers at J. This isn't right. Numbers at J plus equal. We'll do the num and a pipe character. That's what we will do. Not great, Not great, but we will do that. Now we're down here. We can get all those elements out by stripping off that final pipe character and separating them by pipes. And this is not going to work, but we're going to go ahead and var dump elements, var dump operation, exit 1. We're only going to process 1. So we're just going to see what we have right now. Variable elements not defined. That variable is not defined? The one that I defined right there? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let me think about this. This might be causing problems. Let me quote that. That was causing problems. Okay. Let's see. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it is spaced out correctly. That's beautiful. We have it in an array, and now we can loop over. We don't have an operation for it, though. Well, we should just do this. We should just store the operations up here. Once we encounter one here, we should just store it. That just solves this problem. There we go. Now we have the operations as well. I'm not calling operations. Well, it would help if I was consistent. There we go. We have this. Third array, a bit rich for my blood. Don't worry, we have pipe separated values in our arrays, so you know we out here, all right? So now we have this. Now we have to go and do some stupid math. We have to do some really stupid stuff. Because we have this 3, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 1, 2. So we have to do 3, 5, 6. We have to get that into a number. 2, 3, we have to get that into a number. And then 1, we have to get that into a number. Now, we can do that in some really dumb ways. So let's do this. New numbers equals for elem in element echo elem, and then we'll put an exit there. Okay, so we're looping over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we just need to substring it and store it into new things. So we just need to read it character by character until there are no more characters left. So we'll get the length every iteration, because I know Bad Cop likes when I do this. We'll get the len here of elem, and then we will say for j equals 0, j less than len j plus plus, do new numbers at spot j plus equal the number itself, which is the n equals the element substringed at j for one character. Worst code I've ever written in my entire life. That's not true. That is not true. Think of the CPU cycles. Oh my god. Slay fingers, Dave. Yo, welcome. Appreciate it. What's up, Melty? Welcome to the chat. Bad Cop, if you ever want to read fun comments, go to my YouTube video where I talk about the useless use of cat award and read how angry people have gotten, where I talked about like the unnecessary fork and exec. They think I am like personally targeting them. Like, if you're worried about the performance of that, I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm saying it's unnecessary. It's crazy the way people read into that video. It is mind-blowing to me. Like the same way I'd be worried if you did a malloc instead of creating a string literal when you have a constant string in C. It's the same way I'm worried about a fork and exec and bash. It's not going to slow it down. It's not going to be the end of the world with how slow it makes it. It's going to be almost imperceptible, but it's unnecessary. Oh man, that's a rant. Just had to go on that. So let's see. Now we've looked at this number and we got 3, 5, 6, 2, 4, and 1. Hey, look at this. 1, 2, 4, and 3, 5, 6. We've transposed it. We've done that. We just need to do one more thing. We just need to say if n is not equal to a space. Not that it matters. We can just treat it like a number and it will be fine. But we can chop those off. Now we have 1, 24, and 3, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 24, and 3, 5, 6. That is right. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's smart. That's smart, bad cop. Just do something like this. There we go. Problem solved. Look how fast my computer's reading nothing. All right, so we've got it. We have it. We just need to loop over new numbers. Did I delete something useful here? No, I didn't. Why are we pushing into new number? How are we pushing into new numbers? That makes more sense. Init new numbers. New numbers. There we go. I think we're good. If we use the example, we get 326,827. 326,3827. I think there was a 3 in the original one. I think I just read it wrong. Yeah, there was. Okay, so this works. Let's go ahead and go over here. Let's cat the real input into it. Let's let that run, and we get this giant total. Cool. Let's take that. Let's go over here. Pull up the web browser. Put that big giant total into it. That's it. That's the right answer. You're 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Easy. Easy. Easy W. Easy. Go me. I'm awesome. Yeah. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. What about echo B into proc sysrq trigger? Don't worry, I'm on Mac. I don't have a proc file system. Yeah, I've been streaming for about an hour and I didn't get started. So maybe, I think this took maybe, what, 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this puzzle was significantly straightforward. Luckily, I didn't get tripped up on any of it. I think if you started making assumptions about the number of spaces, you might have got tripped up on some of it. So, what do you got for me, bad cop? Why does it always open in the wrong browser? Oh my God. Okay, 1 sec. What are you doing here? Why are you sending this to me? Why did it autocomplete no for you? I hate that. I know why. We've talked about this, but oof. All right. Perfect. The next thing is day 7. I'm going to take a little, like, 2-minute break before I do that. Oh, because I just need to stand up. Let's see. Oh, it's my elbows. That's awesome. A little bite of pizza. Yo, GG. Thank you, NMBB. I'm going to go grab a drink from my fridge. I'll be back up in 1 minute, and then we'll go. Yo, what up? I'm back, everyone. I missed what you did for part 2 because I was doing the dishes, but what I did was store the whole thing in a grid and rotate 90 degrees before calculating. Listen, I thought about doing that too. I don't have an easy way in Bash to do that, so I went through painfully manually in doing it, but that's a clever solution. See, I just started up the stream. People eating over their keyboard is why I'm not in tech support anymore. That's a weird reason. Anyways, enjoy. Used awk to transpose it? No, that's really cool. Go left to right, top to bottom. Yeah, kind of just treat the whole thing like a 2D array of data, of bytes, and you can kind of process it like that. It's a cool way. I do like the spaces being insignificant, and then suddenly being significant again. That was cute. All right, let me check my my YouTube subscribers. For anyone curious, I'm at 65,508 subscribers. When I get to 65,535, I'm going to take a screenshot because I will have a full 16-bit worth of subscribers on YouTube. So that is pretty cool. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you don't like this content, get on my stream. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're trying to get up to 65,535 subscribers. I think that'd be a pretty cool milestone to hit. Can you try this one out? I think it's our best golf yet. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me pull that up. I'm not going to click it because it's going to open in the wrong browser. I'll figure that out off stream. I won't figure that out off stream. I'll forget. But it'd be nice if I... What the... Bad Cop. Woof indeed. All right, we're going to look up Bad Cop's golf here. This is what Bad Cop has. So let me go ahead and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to add the shebang for Bash just so we can view it and execute it like that. This is not her bytes. This is me adding bytes to the file, but now we can kind of understand what's going on here. We have a set minus F. Dude, I don't even know what set dash F is. What is that? Disable file name generation. Oh, cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's really cool. It's short for no glob. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, as soon as I read the left-right alignment can be ignored, I thought to myself, this isn't going to be true for part 2, is it? I think I may have said something. I don't remember if I said something or not on stream, but yeah, I thought something similar to that. Finally caught you live. You're 100% the reason I grew my Bash proficiency and looking forward to the material you're working on. Oh, man. Congratulations. Also brutal about day 7, what you say there. But thank you. I appreciate that. Bash course is coming out on YouTube in the next 3 weeks, so look forward to it. It's almost done. I have to watch through 7.5 hours of content I've written. Yeah. And I really gotta do my best to try and, motivate some of my friends to work on some other educational content that they've been putting off, because I think that'd be really fun. Anyways, totally unrelated. Let's go to this golf here. We do no glob, we map file into this. Okay, you know what? You're right. What am I doing? Hold on, I just need to know, do I give it a file or does it take it over standard in? That's the only thing I want to figure out. It looks like I just give it over standard in because it just does map file on it. So, okay, perfect. Sure about that? I mean, is that the right answer? It might be the right answer if it gives errors, which is really funny. Oh my God, it gives errors. You are a monster. All right, so it gives that big number, 958, whatever. I don't remember what mine was. Let's go ahead and run mine on the real input, and let's just tail -1 so we get the final output of it. Oh my God, that works. Oh my God, that works. You are a monster. You are a monster, Bad Cop. I feel like you have more fun golfing than you do solving the actual problem. That's incredible. I need to understand what's going on here. I hate you. This is beautiful. I don't actually. You know what it is? I'm not jealous, but like I low-key am jealous. Like you, I don't come up with solutions that can be golfed as far as I know. This is incredible. Like this is beautiful. Oh my God. Incredible. What is even happening here? I'm amazed it worked on my Mac too, which is really cool. So you didn't do any sort of like weird BC stuff. You didn't have any GNU specific sed invocations. That was pretty cool. No glob, map it into an array without the new lines into A. We're looping over the numbers here because you have the subtract 1. Oh, you're starting at the end of it. Okay, that's clever. Not actually looping over. Yeah, you're starting at the end of it while it's less than the length. Do a pre-increment on it. Your substring. Oh wow, wow, you're substringing into the actual spot in the array. What is 2? Why are you reading 2 characters? Oh. Interesting. Oh, because you literally will have a star plus. You have to not glob this. Okay, yeah, you're not starting at the end. I can see that. You're reading just the file backwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's clever because that does have the operators there. So you're reading the file backwards. You're getting the line at that. So this is the operation line. And you're doing this while R is less than or equal to the length of A. Oh, the length of A without any sort of operator there. So this is the length of the first element of the array, not the array itself. Oh, yeah. I see that. So you substring from 0 to 2, and then you check, and then you store the operator as whatever the, oh my god, the $_ variable. And then you substring it from 1, which might be a space, might not be a space. What the hell? How did you come up with this? This is clever. I can see this. Yeah, you're gonna get failures with printf because it's just like implicit assumptions, but you don't care. This is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, I might have. I think I broke your golf myself with bad syntax. Yeah. Okay, so that's what you're left with. But I want to see what it looks like before the sed. Okay. Let me see what it looks like before the sed without the errors. Huh, okay. Wow, this is insane. This is a ridiculous solution. Yeah, you're insane. I don't know how you would come up with this. That's clever. I love your golf solutions. It's like one of the most unique parts of like this process, I think. Part 2, git commit, add day 06, push it. There we go. Day 06 is live. Make dir, day 07. Let's fire it in there. Let's get moving on day 7. What do you guys say? 6 part 2 was truly a fun puzzle. I've only been coding since April, and this is easily the most fun I've had doing it. Dude, that's impressive. You've only been coding for like half a year, and you are doing these. That's incredible. I think I started writing code in 2007, 2008. So that's, yeah, I would not have been ready for an advent of code back then. Let's see. Day 7, laboratories. Bad cop, don't say that. Now I'm scared. I've been coding since 7:30. Go outside, man. It's pretty funny. That's pretty good. All right. Day 7, laboratories. You think the cephalopods for their help? Wow, can I not read? Let's start this over. All right. Pretend I'm making a YouTube video. Day 7, laboratories. You thank the cephalopods for the help and then exit the trash compactor, finding yourself in the familiar halls of the North Pole Research Wing. Cool. Based on the large sign that says Teleporter Hub, they seem to be researching teleportation. Makes sense. You can't help but try for yourself and step in a large yellow teleporter pad. You are a nuisance this year. Suddenly, you find yourself in an unfamiliar room. The room has no doors. The only way out is the teleporter. Unfortunately, the teleporter seems to be leaking magic smoke. Well, that's no good. Since this is a teleporter lab, there are lots of spare parts, manuals, and diagnostic equipment laying around. After connecting one of the diagnostic tools, it helpfully displays the error code, "Oh no," which apparently means that there's an issue with one of the tachyon manifolds. You quickly locate a diagram of the tachyon manifold, your puzzle input. A tachyon beam enters the manifold at the location marked S. Oh, we have a start location, cool. Tachyon beams always move downward. The tachyon beams pass freely through empty spaces. However, if a tachyon beam encounters a splitter, the beam is stopped. Instead, a new tachyon beam continues from the immediate left and from the right of the splitter. Oh, a little Christmas tree. Okay, so we have an S and we have these tachyon things, so I'm guessing we go down, and then the beam stops here, and then we go one to the right and one to the right, and then we go down, and this one also goes down, and then we hit this. That's what I'm guessing. It looks like these two split into the same location, which probably doesn't matter. This is like a waterfall simulation, kind of, which is okay. In this example, the incoming tachyon beam extends downward from S until it reaches the first splitter. Awesome. At that point, the original beam stops. The two new beams are emitted from the splitter. Okay. Pew pew lasers. I agree. These beams continue downward until they reach more splitters. Okay. At this point, the two splitters create a total of only 3 tachyon beams since they are both dumping tachyons in the same place between them. Okay, yeah, so they just become a new beam. Okay. This process continues until all the tachyon beams reach a splitter at the exit manifold. Okay, cute. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 beams at the bottom total. I don't know if that matters. To repair the teleporter, you first need to understand the beam splitting properties of the tachyon manifold. In this example, a tachyon beam is split a total of 21 times. Oh, they're split a total of 21 times. Okay, that's how many times it was split. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad because they can... Oh, here's something interesting. They can only split when they hit a splitter. So I could count the number of splitters and I know my answer is going to be equal to or less than that. So... yeah. Pretty sure his color scheme is ANSI with the horrendous blue edited. You talking to me or are you talking about Advent of Code? I'm not sure. You responding to YouTube chat? Did someone ask about my... Wait, did someone actually ask about my color scheme? Because I don't see it in my YouTube chat. If that's the case, uh-oh. Am I missing chats in YouTube? But yeah, if that's the case, if you're... you see it in the overlay? Interesting. I don't... Am I stupid? Yeah, I see it in the overlay too. Who roasted chicken? I actually don't. Are you on YouTube or Twitch? I don't see your message anywhere else. Like I have my 2 chats open. I don't see your message. I only see it in the overlay. That's super weird. Is it like marked as spam or something? Yeah, I don't know what that message is. I don't know why it's not showing up there. That's super strange. Interesting. I have my chat thing open in front of me. If you're curious about my color scheme, if you've been asking me, I probably haven't seen your messages. I don't know why. Maybe your account has been marked as spam or something, or I have some filters. I have no idea. My color scheme is the default. Bad Cop got it right. My color scheme is the default Bash color scheme for Vim, but I have one modification, which is just the color blue. I made it brighter because I got so many comments from people saying they couldn't read it, and I like it being brighter. So I forget where I have that set. I'm in my VimRC right now. Look at this. I set the background to light, even though that's a lie. I like the color scheme light better than dark, because if you do like set background equals dark, I think that's hideous. So I do this on a dark background, but then I have the HI comment C term FG equals 63. Watch the colors. There we go. I like that a lot better. So the default blue should be illegal. Yes, I agree. I absolutely 1000% agree there. Yo, thank you for the Prime subscription, The Flying House. Appreciate it. That's super nice. Let's go ahead and start doing some work here. What do you say? Let's go ahead. We have to count the times it was split. Okay, that's interesting. We don't care how many final beams there were or anything, at least not yet. Let's go ahead and vim example input.text, paste that in here. Vim real input.text, and let's go ahead, unshare this, go down here. Get the puzzle input. That's a giant file. Paste it in there. Close out of it. Reshare. There we go. There we go. So that's the kind of lines we're dealing with here. Oh, you want me to install your color scheme and then delete it? No, that makes sense, dude. That's totally normal. That's really funny. Let's start doing some work here. So we have to read this whole thing into, we're going to be basically doing 2-dimensional thing here. So let's see. You need to change top chat to live chat to see Roasted Chicken's message. I'm in top? What the heck is top chat? Thank you, Minnie, by the way. I'm glad you understand YouTube. I changed it to live chat. I didn't even know that was an option. My bad, guys. I don't know whose messages I've been skipping over. Sorry, I'm a boomer, dude. I don't. This is wild. Oh, roasted chicken. Yo, I see you. Yo, my bad, dude. Like, I literally, my apologies. I don't know what the heck I'm doing over here. So, yeah, pro streamer, by the way. Dude, listen, guys, I'm good at making content. Even then, I'm, like, mediocre at it. But don't expect me to be good at streaming, okay? You guys are lucky I have, like, a good mic over here. All right. Let's lock in, boys. We got this. Let's see. Vim, part 1. User bin env bash. We're gonna have to read this whole thing into a two-dimensional array, I think. I should probably like write this code out somewhere so I don't have to keep rewriting it, but who cares? While read -r line do done. Let's see. We can do the height of the file is 0, and every time we get to a new line, we do height ++. And then the x is 0 for x equals 0, x less than len, x ++. And we'll do bad cop's favorite thing, width equals the length of line, and we will set it every time. So x is less than width. We will do this, we'll do done, and then we'll save map of x comma height equals $C. Let's go ahead and declare some variables here. Let's declare -a map. So now we have the map here. Yeah. You did stream once on YouTube. I remember that. But yeah, that's fair. I'm on Twitch, so we can at least collab on that, which is nice. I do read -r because it is built into my brain. So YouTube thinks they're better than you at marketing spam. Yeah, I don't know about that. No, it's okay, bro. Maybe you missed my comment last time. Yeah, dude, I probably did. My bad. Apologies. Hopefully my answer was sufficient, though. Good morning from India. Yo, what's up? Welcome. So now we have this. Let's go ahead and get the C. The character is the line at character X for one character. There we go. And now we have that. So, bad cop, what do? Do we rewrite the print grid function, or do we just import it from a different thing? That's what I'm curious about. Because I do have a working grid now. I could just grab it. You challenged me to write it before in like day 4. I don't remember. Day 5. You write it every time. Yeah, I end up doing that and it's like super lame, right? Oh, man. I literally need like an advent of code like library. But then it kind of feels like cheating. Like I don't know what's cheating or not. I'm not in a race. I don't feel bad. But I'm totally gonna cheat a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull this print grid function. There we go. Yeah, I feel like a utils thing might just, you know, make sense. I don't have any save for that. Day 7. Cat example pipe part 1. Yeah, I don't think it's cheating. I mean, I also pull in the var dump function, so like, yeah. Yeah, I will shamelessly copy paste if I need that stupid. Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. You want to copy and paste old code because it's relevant. Like, I'm fine with that. Also, like in our races, if we want to, I feel like that's fine. I don't have a problem if like we're doing a 2D grid and you grab your print 2D function, because I'll grab mine too, because what's the point of rewriting it? Let's see. Grok, add a print grid function. So now we have this. So now we need to simulate it. So the way we'll do this is we'll say read input, and now we will simulate it going down. So here's my thoughts. Here's my immediate thoughts. I'll walk you through what I'm thinking here. We start here. That's our starting position. We'll store a marker that says where we're starting. We'll store the X position and the Y position of where we're starting. And then we will increment the Y position and we will run a simulation. So we'll do one line at a time. So we'll now check this line and our beam is here. And then we'll go down to here. We'll check. If it's a period, then it becomes our beam and we go on to the next line. If it's a splitter, then it stays a splitter. The two characters to the left of it become pipes, and then we move on to the next line. And the way we do that is by looking at the line above for a pipe. That's what I'm thinking we'll do. So That's what I'm thinking we'll do. And then we keep track of every time we encounter a splitter. And of course, no, okay, yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Okay. Let me think. So let's go ahead and start doing this. So we need to get the start position out of this. We'll do start equals this. And we'll say if $C equal S, then start equals X comma height and map at X comma height equals a beam. That's what we'll do. So if we have that, we can say print grid, and we can say echo. We don't even need the starting point, actually. Doesn't really matter where the starting point is because we just have the pipes. Let's just print the grid and see what we have. There we go. We have a pipe at the top now. Awesome. What we could do when we print the grid. Okay, this is going to be a little bit cute. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but let's just have some fun here. Let's just say case $C in. If it's a pipe character, then let's go ahead and actually set it to a color. Let's give it a color of, what do you say, like 35M. And then we can put the pipe character there. And then we can close the color with 0M. So I think we can just do that. And then when we print the grid, yeah, there we go. Now it has like a purple color. So it'll make it jump out to us, which is nice. So. All right. So now we have that cool little print function. Now we have the pipe. Now we need to simulate it line by line. So the starting Y, we'll store the starting Y actually here. Starting Y equals the height at the time that we've read the start character. So for Y equals starting Y, Y less than height, Y plus plus, and then we will loop over every single line. So yeah, that's what we'll do. C equals the, for X equals 0, X less than width, X plus plus, do. Now we have a Y and an X for everything. So get the character at that. The way we can do that is by getting the key, which is X comma Y. Then we will get the character out of that, which is map at key. That's it. And then we can say if C, let's just do this, C equals a pipe, or we don't care about it. Okay, so we have a beam now. Okay, so we're looping over it. We're gonna have a beam here. Let's go ahead and put an exit here so we just quit early. We have a beam now, check one below it. Okay, so we'll get the one below. Below equals the map at X comma Y. Well, let's get this. Next Y equals Y plus, no, plus 1. Let's not do plus plus on that one. Next Y. Let's make a new key for this. X comma next Y. So we have Y and we have next Y. We have key and we have next key. So next key is doing a little peek ahead, a little look ahead, a little peeking to see what we got going on. So if we have next key here, dash Z, dash N below, or break 2. We'll just break completely out of this. There we go. That's it, if it's unset, because we will be outputting there. The superior, yeah, the deprecated, the deprecated syntax, incredible. Oh man. We have the beam now. Check one below it, so we look below it and we check No, let's do a case on below. Case below. In, if it's a dot, then map at next key equals a pipe. So we've propagated the beam down. If it is this, then map at then we have to do left and right. Oh my god. Okay. Then okay. Num splits plus plus. We'll keep track of how many times we've split it. Performed num splits splits. Okay, and print the grid when we get to the bottom. So we increment the num splits. Okay. Y avoid y plus plus for next y. Right here, because if I did y plus plus, I will increment the y variable. Whereas I don't want to increment it. I just want next y to be what y is currently set to, plus 1. If I do y plus plus, I will increment the y variable, and then right up here, it will screw up this for loop. My for loop will suddenly be incrementing by 2 because it itself also does a y plus plus. So that's why I don't want to modify the y variable. I want to save it to a new variable in this case. So if we're here, then we just break 2. There we go. I think we're okay. Yes, exactly. That's what it will do. Okay. We have num splits here. Now we need to actually split the beam. So we'll check. This is stupid. Left hand x equals x minus 1. And the right hand x is equal to x plus 1. This is annoying. We can clean this up, but that's fine. So we'll check... I think we can just set it, because we're never actually going to look at it. I think we can just set it. Yeah, I think we can just set it. Even if it's out of bounds, I think we're just going to set it anyways. So left-hand x, comma, y equals pipe, and right-hand x, comma, y equals pipe. I think that's it. I think that's all we need here, actually. I did put an exit there. We're doing something wrong. So, something's wrong here. Oh, you did break 2? That's awesome. Yeah, I love it, dude. Oh, man. I love the break 2 and stuff like that. Let's see. The characters of both sides of splitters are always dots. Yeah, I was curious about that. I was actually thinking if we have splitters next to each other, that could be a problem. I can also just verify that if we cat the real input and we grep for the splitters, we get that. If we grep for 2 splitters next to each other, we get nothing. So that's really, really good. If we grep for a splitter in the end of the string, we get nothing. That's great. And if we grep for a splitter at the beginning of the string, we get nothing. I should have verified that to begin with, but that is good to know. So I'm doing something a little bit wrong here, but that's okay. We'll figure out what it is. Well, HHX is probably the wrong, thing there. Maybe we should put an R there. There we go. Okay, I mean, that looks cool. It's not right, but it looks really cool. So we get down here, and then we... Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what's going on here. This should be next Y, and this should be next Y. And then when we go down here, we have our X down there. Something's a little bit off here, but we'll figure it out. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. I don't know why it thinks we've finished there. Did I miss something? Like, why did it just stop? That's what I'm curious about. So it must have encountered something it didn't like. So we can do this. Out of memory, yeah, okay. Stopping, got pipe. Okay, so why would a pipe character cause it to stop when we are looking below? When we're looking below, we shouldn't have a pipe? No, we should have a pipe, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should have a pipe. We should have a pipe. If we have a pipe, that's because we've already written down there. We are writing to the next thing below. That makes sense. So if it's a pipe character, that means it's already, like, we don't care. We've already done the work needed to do that. So we can just ignore pipe characters. Okay. I didn't think of grepping and just looked at the input and determined that was the case. I mean, that's smart. That works. Yeah, I just don't trust myself, so that's why I grepped. This looks right. Looks really cool, and it looks right. We performed 21 splits. So let's go over here. It should split a total of 21 times. Hey, sounds pretty good to me, right? Let's go ahead and give it the real input. Oh, wow. That worked really fast. Oh, you can't see it. Here's the real input. Got a little bit chopped off in the terminal, but we performed 1585 splits. So that is pretty cool. Now, I feel like a lot of people are going to make visualizers for this because this looks really sweet, doesn't it? Like, oh man. All right, let's grab this. 1585. I don't know what I'm going to grab. I'm just going to type it in. 1585. Let's go. Let's go. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Let's go. Crush it. Nailed it. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun stops. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the W. Appreciate it. You guys. You guys. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I can already see paths. Oh God, don't make me go through all the paths and figure out which one's the dumbest or whatever. Okay. Woo. Okay, let's do this. Oh my God, it's a lot of words. It's a lot of words. Part 2. With the analysis of the manifold complete, you begin fixing the teleporter. However, as you open the side of the teleporter to replace the broken manifold, you are surprised to discover that it isn't actually... that it isn't a classical oh my God. It isn't a classical tachyon manifold. It's a quantum tachyon manifold. I love this. Okay. With the quantum tachyon manifold, only a single tachyon particle is sent through the manifold. A tachyon particle takes both the left and right path of each splitter encountered. Since this is impossible, the manual recommends the many worlds interpretation of quantum tachyon splitting. Each time a particle reaches a splitter, it's actually time itself which splits. In one timeline, the particle went left, and in the other timeline, it went to the right. Okay, cool. I can see how this is going to be a nightmare. Because we've split 1585 times, so a lot of worlds. To fix the manifold, what you really need to know is the number of timelines active after a single particle completes all of its possible journeys through the manifold. In the above example, there are many timelines. For instance, there's the timeline where the particle always went left. Okay, that makes sense. Or there's the timeline where the particle alternated going left and right at each splitter. Cool. Or there's a timeline where the particle ends up at the same point as the alternating timeline, but takes a totally different path to get there. In this example in total, the particle ends up on 40 different timelines. Apply the many worlds interpretation of quantum tachyon splitting to your manifold diagram. In total, how many different timelines would a single tachyon particle end up on? I don't understand. Let me reread this because I don't quite get it. Let's see. Since it's possible, the many worlds. Each time a particle reaches a splitter, it's actually time itself which splits. In one timeline, the particle went left, and the other timeline, the particle went right. To fix the manifold, what you really need to know is the number of timelines active after a single particle completes all of its possible journeys through the manifold. What do you mean active? There's only one timeline. I don't know if I get this problem. That's not even, no one help me out. I'm gonna understand it myself. I need to make sure I wrap my head around this. At timelines, pipe word count minus L. Thank you. That's beautiful. Since this timeline is impossible. Okay, so what does that mean? We get 40 different timelines here. There are many timelines. For instance, there's the timeline where the particle always went left. There's a timeline where the particle alternated going left and right. Is it just count every possible path? Is that it? Just from start to end, how many possible ways? Because there's 40 different timelines, but there's way less than 40 places to end up at. So it doesn't matter if we end up at the same place. And it's always going to take the same amount of time. I think it's just paths. Couldn't you just count how many splitters were active? Am I crazy? Like, if I look at the example and we grep minus C for the splitter character, that's not right. That's how many lines have it. We want to count up every time that character appears. Is it grep-O? I don't know. I don't know how to do this with grep. Let me just think this through. If we count how many splitters here, the answer has to be less than that many splitters. So, am I wrong? This seems like simple. I could be wrong here, because when you... Well, we do have the issue of when you split once to the left and when you split once to the right, we end up with the same beam. No, but then the top would have been different. Yeah, hold on. Let me think about this. Let me CP part 1 to part 2. Part 2. And we have all this stuff. That's great. When the splitter is used, let's do this. Oh, using TR to do it just to... Oh my god, you delete everything that's not one of those. That's clever. Let me do this, because I have this. Let's do splitters, used splitters. I have to try this. This seems way too easy, so I feel like I'm missing something. Use splitters, and every time a splitter gets used, we will keep track of it. So if this gets used, then used splitters at key equals 1. Okay, now we get down here. Let's not print that grid. Let's not print that grid. Used splitters. So that's how many splitters we used. So let's go ahead and do this. Cat example, pipe into part 2. We used 21 splitters. Okay, that makes sense. The number of times the splitters get used is just your answer to part 1. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know why I overcomplicated this. Yeah, because we just kept track of num splits. We used 21 splitters. So what am I missing here? Give me a second to figure this out. The particle ends up on 40 different timelines. I need to really understand what I'm reading here. Yeah, this one's just taking me a while to really wrap my head around. Like, why... I know it's more complicated than I'm making it, but I need to understand in which way it's complicated. I just need to get it. Yes, exactly. Why would that be hard? Like, I don't... Yeah, it's a bad one because of this. I don't understand. Am I crazy? Is it just n minus 1 times 2? That can't be right. Because each splitter causes 2 new worlds, but we already have the beam at the beginning. It can't be... It's bad wording. Okay, it can't be what I think it is. Like, it doesn't make sense. Let me explain what I mean by that. Cat the real input, pipe it into part 1. And we get this, 1585. I'm thinking it's 1584 minus 1 times 2. But like, it's not that. Like, before I even submit this answer, I know it's not that because I'm fundamentally misunderstanding something. So I'm going to run this, and it's going to fail, and I'm going to have to wonder why that is. Okay. The answer's too low. That's good. I'm glad. I didn't want this puzzle to just be that. Like, I would be very confused and annoyed. Let's see. Okay. There's something I'm missing here. It's ever so slightly larger than that number. Oh, maybe that minus 1 really screwed me up. You did that at first too? Okay, I feel better then, because there's something like really wrong with this. I don't understand how you get 40 from that. That's the problem. That's mind blowing. Because here's what I would do. It does scream to do that. You're right. Here's what I'm thinking. Simple input. Dot text, right? I can make my own, but the problem is I don't know how to verify it. So let's just make our own and just like imagine it. Like, what's the answer here? Right? We go through this, we solve it. Actually, wait, this is just, I can just pipe this into my program. Cat simple input, pipe it into part 1. And we've performed 1 split. That makes perfect sense. This looks right. This makes perfect sense. This is amazing. Do you want to know what I want to do for R2? No. I don't want any sort of backseat driving or anything. No. Thank you for asking, but no, I got to figure it out all on my own. Oh, great. This is upsetting to hear that a lot of people don't grasp the full answer, because now I have to like really, really try and understand it. Yeah, there's 1 split and there's 2 paths, right? 1 times 2. So if I'm understanding this correctly, and I'm going to ask the chat this, the answer's 2 here, right? Is the answer 2? There are 2 possible timelines. The particle ends up on 40 different timelines. So we don't have to it's not the path, it's the particle, but the particle, okay. Few commas. That's funny. All right, I don't know how to read your name in the YouTube chat. Villy, Janet, who are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to right now? Are you, like, responding to someone? I feel like you're just giving me bot messages. So, I need to know that you're a human if you want to stay here. You're giving me some weird messages. Yeah. It works for that example, which is devious. Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, the answer's 2 here. There's 2 possible paths. There's 2 timelines that this particle has ended up on. Now, if I had this, the answer is 3. Okay. Even though there's 2 splitters, the splits and the levels matter. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, so there are 3 there then. Okay. I'm going to talk out loud. Again, if you're new here, just no spoilers, please. I don't want like any backseat driving or anything. I'm just gonna work through what I think needs to happen here. What I think needs to happen is I need to make this puzzle a little bit bigger. How do I want to do that? Yeah, we'll just do this and then paste that in there, and you can become this, and you can become that. So there's 4 possible timelines this particle could end up on. That makes sense. Okay. I was obsessing over the fact that one of my naive approaches had near the answer count, and it was just coincidence. A very clever puzzle design. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay. I'm thinking about this. If we start at the top, this is our first split, and the splitter got used. So now we've created a new timeline. We've I'm trying to think of how I want to word this in a mathematical sense. This is a tough one. You can give me a solution you came up with but didn't use. I don't want that if it's going to give me any hints or anything. You're pretty good about not giving me hints, but like, yeah, I don't even want to get pointed in a direction. I want to just know. Fork at each splitter. Hey, I had that thought. I definitely had that thought. They don't rely on the thing that came before it, so well, they don't modify back up the thing. So yeah, I mean that definitely works. We could just do it. I have to think about this. I have an idea. I have a really weird idea. Okay? Instead of setting it to a pipe, set it to a number and increment the number every time that pipe is visited. I think this makes sense. Let me think this one through. Because in this example, they'll all be 1. The answer is 4. There's no overlap. Let me code this, and then we'll see. Because I have a hunch. I have a hunch. So I've made no changes, but we have part 2. Okay, part 2 gives us this. That's good. Perform 3 splits. That makes sense. So if it's a period, we set it equal to a pipe. And if it's a pipe, we do something. Okay. If it's a period, we can't set it equal to a number because the number is going to be too big, but we have to set it equal to something. Oh no, we can just set it to a number. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, we can. And then if it's a pipe, let's just not even do this. We just have it set to a number. So now when we get to the bottom, that's all we care about. So we just have to look at the bottom row. So for x equals 0, x less than width, x plus plus. I don't know what to do with these numbers yet, but we're going to figure this out. The y is equal to the height minus 1. We're always looking at the bottom row. Then we'll say key equals $x, comma, $y. C equals map at key. And then we'll echo If C is not equal to a period, then echo C, comma. Let's do final row equals this. Final row plus equal the C. Okay. And then we will var dump the final row. Okay, it didn't quite work because of my logic to check the things. Yeah. It will never be a pipe. It will be a 0 through 9 plus. Okay. I still have to think about this. I'm just gonna pause the rechat. You can make a quantum computer for this. You know what? Honestly, I could. I feel like that would solve this problem. At the end, I felt kind of bad that I had to do something I didn't want to do to arrive at a proper solution, but I did get a very pretty printf debug output. Hey, that's awesome. I know it sucks sometimes when you don't get you don't get there the way you want to get there. I feel that. Like, I really do feel that. I don't know if coproc solves this, but we could use coproc. Let's see. First time catching you live, been solving the puzzles in Artist. I don't know what that is, and Python, and watching you in Bad Cop do it in Bash. It's crazy the differences and similarities between the languages. Hey, that's awesome. Yo, thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you're catching me live. No way I'll ever get a tweetable Rust solution. Yeah, I know. I feel that. Oh my god. Bad Cop. Have you used coproc? I recently used it to get rid of a pipe. I had a make FIFO in one of my things where two threads communicated with like the main, two subshells communicated with the main shell, and I managed to use coproc to do it. It's a mess, dude. It's garbage. I should show it to you sometime. I should find it and make sure it actually works. It's wild. If it's a dot, then it's equal to 1. And if it's 0 through 9 plus. Because we can store any arbitrary data in here. Why are we stopping? Why is it finishing at 0? What am I doing wrong? I'm not propagating the pipes down. Oh, because the first one is a pipe. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm stupid. Don't worry. We're dumb. Okay. We're just gonna do this. I think this will initialize them to 0 if they're not set. And then we had make you a 0. I have to think about this. Make sure we're not off by 1 or anything. Learning about all these basic bash utilities is very far once you start figuring out how to work with them. Dude, it totally is. Absolutely. We initialize it to 0. If C not equal 0 through 9 plus, then will that match file names? Do I need to set -f up here? Why wouldn't you exit Vim? It's not possible, man. It's not possible. If you like the shirt, it's available in my merch store, ysap.sh/merch. It's a design of my own creation. Can you believe it? I think we're okay here. Something's not matching here. If it's 0 through 9, then the next key, we're doing ++ on a period. That's what we're doing. I have to think. What am I doing wrong here? I have to think. My brain isn't working right now. I need to lock in. That's a print grid function if I've ever seen one. I could do plus X inside of grid, yeah. Okay, well, I think 0 is not a number, so whatever I'm doing here is not working. Let's just say, I'm going to be so lazy. Case $C in, if it's a period or it's a splitter, then continue. Hey, look at that. We actually got a split there that time. It's not great, but we got a split there. The equal tilde sign is for regex. I wasn't doing regex. I was just doing basic pattern matching. You should be able to do basic pattern matching with bash, right? Like I can do like if hello equals h star, as long as there are no files named h star, I can do this. I think that works. Obviously I could treat it like regex. That would also work. I could do basic regex stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'll have to get my brain to a place where I can actually think about that. Right now I'm not totally processing that. What's happening now? We're trying to get down to a splitter and we're failing. If we get down to a splitter, then we get the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the next one, and we increment them to plus plus and plus plus. They could be periods. That's the problem. So let's go ahead and let's copy and paste some code. Oh, we don't want -C. We want... All right. Oh, man, we got some Bad Cop fans in the chat. That's awesome. I'm not starting later again, starting now, but I'm doing the puzzles that I missed. Yeah. And maybe doing tonight's puzzle. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. Okay, cool. Now when we get to the bottom row, we have those number ones down there. That's pretty cool. What if we cat the example and pipe it into part 2? Now we have nothing working. Not great, but yeah, how are we going to print it when we start getting up to like number 12 and stuff? It's kind of going to break. All right, so something's not right. You did mod 10, lol. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me I'm on the right path. I didn't even know if this was gonna work. Me when I lie. The nice thing about Bad Cop is actually she didn't give away if it worked or not. She literally sometimes just lie. So like I actually do appreciate that. Bad Cop will just be like, no, I just added 1 to the result. Like just stupid things like that. I'm like, oh, okay, word, dude, that's awesome. Okay. So this little thing might not be working down here. Should be. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same problem. It's the same problem. I just should have put this in a helper function. I really should have just put it in a helper function to like increment and then give it the name of a spot to increment. But if this doesn't work, I'll do that. I mean, I definitely did something very different. Yeah, that didn't work. So let's do this. Let's do set or increment, and this will take a key as $1, and then we'll say if -z the map at $key. We don't want -c. We want if the map at $key equals a period, then we will set the map at $key equal to a 0. And then the map at $key plus plus. Also, we'll do some little checking here. Let's just do a little elif. The map at $key is equal to a splitter, because this should never happen. But this would be useful. We have debugging now. Okay, set or increment. So that's what we have now. We have a nice little set or increment function we can use. So let's go down here and let's just say set or increment left-hand side x, next y, and set or increment right-hand x or next y. There we go. That's way cleaner to look at. So now we can do the same thing here with next key. And that's pretty good. Let's see. Try to solve this using backtracking at first. Had to shift gears. That wasn't going to finish anytime soon. Yeah, dude. I get that. Oh, man. Oh, dude, I love the magical variables that are just gone when you unset them. It's so funny. Backup was all about them. Okay, so I'm still doing something wrong. Something obvious down here is failing. We'll have to figure out what it is. Stopping, got 1. Okay, well, so this is clearly not matching this. Am I stupid? This should just match any number. Like, what am I doing wrong here? Got 1. And why is 1 just suddenly not matching? It seems like it was matching all the other ones. Num case. Making a new script to test this out. N equals 1. Case, $n in 0 through 9 plus echo is a num. Echo. Uh-oh. Okay. So that's not right. Whatever syntax I'm doing here, I could do the extending glob syntax. What am I doing wrong here? This can't be right. I made that syntax up. That is, there's no way this is valid. This is actually just invalid bash. I really thought you could do this. What am I thinking of? Because I could do just this. If I actually, you know what? I could just do that. I could just do that because all it means is it starts with a number. It just means it starts with a number. And in my case, that's good enough. That is good enough. Yo, what's up, Bash? How you doing? Bash is made of nothing but, I don't know, man, nightmares. All right. All right. Bash challenge map where we unset the magic variables. That's so funny. Cat simple into part 2. Okay. Cat example into part 2. Okay. Okay, we're somewhere here. Now, why they all ended up with that at the bottom is not right. They should propagate themselves down. So that's what we're not doing. We're manually setting it equal to 1. We should be propagating our self down there. So the way we do that is we look for our self, which is $C, and we should specify this as $C. There we go. So now we propagate our self down there. Oh, man. Let's see. What a pretty tree. That's what we're working on. It is a beautiful Christmas tree. That's what I like about it. It's not quite working. We're still not doing something right. Because when this 1 and 2 gets here, it should be 3. Oh, it's because of set or increment. We need to propagate. Okay, okay. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, give it the default value that we want to propagate. That's what we're going to do. And we shouldn't call it set or increment because it technically is set and increment. Let's give it another thing here that we want to propagate down. Okay. Light it up, Dave Addy. Yeah! If this actually works, I'm going to tilt off the planet. We're going to see. Okay, so we have all these numbers down here, but what do we do with the numbers? We don't just add them up. it can't just be that we add up these numbers because the thing was 40, I believe, right? So if we do that for num in final row, it can't be that. There's something else here. Accum equals 0. Accum plus equal num. Echo. Accum is accum. Oh, well, it'll help if I spell my variables right. Wow, nice. Let's see. I don't know this. Percent %s is what I've been missing. Yeah, dude, I love the selection sort, but just percent %s is the entire file. So this isn't right. I got a lot of nices in chat. Thank you. Thank you. But this is definitely not right because the answer should be 40. So we're doing something wrong with the propagation. The nice thing is sometimes they get up to 10, but that's not the end of the world. So let's just go ahead and manually start studying this file. And 1 to 1 becomes 2 down here. They both become 3, yeah, because now there's... This isn't right. Hold on. Okay, I got it. I see what's happening here. This just became 2, but that is incorrect. That is incorrect. There's only one path that can let you get here. We are incrementing it when we split it. That is not correct. When we split it... Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I'm onto something. We're onto something. When it's already a number, we want to increment it. And when it's not a number, okay. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. When it's yeah. I think we want this. That's not right. But I'm onto something. I have something going on here. We're onto something. We're starting at 0. I don't think that's right. Where do we start at 0? Because we already have a path when we start. Oh man, hold on. This is right. Okay. Start putting +1 in. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But we've got something going on here. Ready? I'm going to make them overlap. This is going to be my simple case. Yo, what's up? Welcome first time chatter, Vazdev. How you doing? Programmers be like, yo, true though. Okay, cool. We just have a, oh, right. I can't just have a splitter at the bottom line. Okay. We have 2, 1, 1, meaning this one path went down the left and then a second path came on. The accumulator is 4. This is working for this one, but it's, man. Yeah, there's only one way to get to this side. There's 2 ways to get down here is what it's telling me. That seems right. Now it should be 40 when we get down there. This one should be incremented again. Okay. This one should be incremented again. It's something, I shouldn't have made this set an increment function. This is unnecessarily complicated. If it's a period, we initialize it to what it should be. And then if it's not, we just increment it by 1. So then when we get down here, we're looking below the thing. If it's a period below us, we just set it to whatever we currently are because we just fell through. If it's a splitter, we set the thing to the left and the right to be what we are, but plus 1. No, this is not working. And if it's already a number... Yeah, because we'd only want this to increment if it already is a number. And if it's down there, we do check again if it's a number. Because if it's a period, we just pull down our init thing. Otherwise, we increment that one. Okay. Okay. So here's all our splitters highlighted. Look at this. See this 4 coming down here? Once we get down here... Oh, wait. Are these splitters not used? If these... No, this splitter is used. No, but then nothing falls down here. Okay, yeah, there's nothing actually hitting this splitter. This splitter isn't active. Is this splitter active? This splitter's active, so this beam should fall down to 3, and it should increment this 4 that's already down here. So we are losing numbers. So if we go from left to right, which is what we're doing, we hit the splitter, we set this equal to 4, and then this one also falls down, and we just blindly set it to 4. Yeah, number lost. That's exactly what's happening here. We're losing a number somewhere. And it's going to be simple. I know for a fact it's going to be simple where we're losing this number. In fact, I really think it's, I just think it's here. Nah, we're still losing that number. But we're on to something good. We're on to something good here. I think it's just the set function here. Let's do this. If it's a splitter, then we just echo uh-oh and exit, because it should never be a splitter. It should only be a period or a number. So if it's a period, then we set it to init, which is the value we gave it. We just propagate it over. We don't add another path because we're falling down now. And if it's, oh, we're checking if it's a splitter here. Why am I doing that? That's not the code I wanted. We just want an else branch here. That's it. That's all we want here. Still wrong. Okay. Yeah, don't spoil it for yourself. Don't stay around if you're going to spoil it for yourself. I don't want you to do that. Map at key plus plus. I love these puzzles. They're so much fun. Okay, they're always correct numbers that we're incrementing, which is good. Just finish before I do. It's super easy. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so there are 16 lines here. So when it's comma 14, yeah, we shouldn't be incrementing this ever. But we should be incrementing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We should be incrementing spot 8. 8 comma 14 was 3. We incremented it to 4. We should be incrementing it again when we fall into it. In the case where we fall into it. Ash, I want to see you solve one of these puzzles. Actually, I think you could. There are a bunch of puzzles you could actually just do by hand without knowing how to program. You totally could. I think I finally suck enough to programming to appreciate how well made these puzzles are. Dude, these puzzles are super well made. I love them. I think they're so fun. I don't even know how to load this stuff. I could teach you. That would be good content. Teaching someone how to program who's like never seen this before, going from like zero to advent of code. I mean, that'd be good content, honestly. Set and increment. So if we're looking below us, if we already have a number below us, which these should have already been set, then we call set and increment on it. What am I missing here? It's got to just not be matching this. But it is. We know it is. It was the 8 and 14 that we cared about. Was 3, incremented to 4. So we need to call that multiple times. Yeah. Let's make a debug function here. No. I'm really close here. This is just annoying. I just don't trust this line. Found number, trying to increment 814 starting at 4. Increment 814 was 3. So why? Trying to increment next key starting at 4. Increment 814 was 3. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We're keeping track of how many paths there were. We don't just increment it by 1. No, we do. There's just... Oh, okay, let me think about this. Oh. That's fine. Screaming your screen away. Just don't type it in chat. I'm missing something very obvious here. Found number, trying to increment next key starting at C. Yeah, so C is 3. Looking at 8, 13. Trying to increment 8, 14. Starting at 4. This only gets set if it's not set, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yo, nice job finishing it. Yeah, I'm working on it right now. We're about to finish it, I think. But I have to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing something really basic wrong. Look, I can see the issue. I just need to put better debugging in this code because I can't follow along what's happening. Setting 814 to 3. Looking at 813. Found number, trying to increment 814, starting at 4. Incre 814 was that. Okay. We're setting it to 3. Hold on. I have to make sure I'm doing this right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this 4, that is 814. Setting 814 to 3. Cool. And then it was incremented to 4. Yes, this was set to 3. But then when this one came down here, it should have bumped it. Why didn't it bump it? Key equals init. Wait, this is right. This is right. Yeah, because it's just propagated out 3. And then when the 4 came down, we incremented it one more. No, we're only incrementing this. So no, we have to add them together, I think. Because there were 4 paths. Like, if we have 4 paths coming this way and 3 paths coming this way and they collide, we don't increment them 1. That's not 1 more path. That's as many paths as we were given. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. I'm an idiot. That's it. Okay. So, I'm just so dumb. Wow, I missed that one little thing. So let's see if this works. Cat, real input, pipe it into part 2. We get 0. So 0 is not right. So we do have a problem. So 0 is not right, but that just means that I'm doing something wrong. What? Exactly, finally, that's how I feel. Oh my god. 0 is right. If the answer is 0, it'd be so funny. There's no way there's just a line of blank. No, it's not 0. What am I doing? What am I doing? Hold on. I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, these should all just fall through then. Okay, well. If it's period, then we just set it. Otherwise, we increment it by whatever value we gave it. So let's not call it a init. Init to value. We'll just call it value. Okay. I don't think I have an I32 problem. I mean, maybe I do. I don't know. Let's see. Got 16. Okay, so 16 didn't match. Yeah, see, for some reason, it's just not matching numbers. Like, I just need it to match, like, what is... How does 16 not match that? It's just my misunderstanding of bash is causing this. That's what it is. So, that's all it is. I just need this here. Yeah, I hate bash. I'm just going to put a star here and we're going to call it a day. Hey, that looks way better, doesn't it? Look at that. Wow, look at this distribution too. A nice little like uniform distribution where there's little at the sides and a bunch in the middle. Look at this. Huh, that's really cute. That makes sense. There's only one way to get all the way to the right, and there's only one way to get all the way to the left. Hey, there we go. That's a really big number, right? Let's go ahead. Run this. Stupid mistakes. What? 1? That is not the right number. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Easy. Done. Stupid mistakes on my part. Absolutely stupid mistakes on my part. That caused it to take a lot longer than I wanted it to. But, yep, there you go. That's the final solution. Time, part 2. Read in from real input. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the support. Takes less than a second to run. Easy. Easy. There you go. GG. GG. You the man. That's right. We got this. We got this. Crushing it. Yours is way faster than mine. Bad Cop, that's so funny. I'm curious how you did it, Bad Cop. I'd be definitely curious to see what you have. Actually, wait. I can just go get it. Hold on, let me commit what I have. Git add part 1, part 2. Git commit add day 7. Git push. I think I have BC. Did I start? I got yours on my computer, right? Bad Cop, AC. There we go. 2025. Day 07. I use the same thing for my solutions. Nice, nice. Easy. Let's see what you have. Yours takes less than a millisecond. Hey, man, you're talking about C++. That's a way different beast. How fast without the prints? I'll go back and run it without the prints. So you have p2.sh. I think you take file names as arguments, right? What's happening here? Oh, I wrote part 2. You do p2. Wow, you save a whole byte there. Well, let's make sure this doesn't delete files on my computer. And that looks fine to me. p2.sh dev advent of code 2025 day 07 real input map file command not found. You don't put shebangs in your code? Oh, you do. I hate you. I hate you. We're executing bash 3.2 over here. Oh my god. There we go. Get wrecked, me. There we go. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. Get wrecked. Yo, Ash, pin the... Yo, get out of here, dude. Get out of here. All right. So you have P2 viz. Oh, look at you, echo dash any. Reset me. Nice. Scan this computer. All right, we got no RMs in there. Nice. Let's go ahead and run this. P2 viz. I assume viz might be rough on the... Yeah, it might be rough on the real input. Let's do my simple input. Okay, that's cool, but you don't clear the terminal after. I hate you. I need to teach you some things. This is cute. This is really cute. That's really cute. Just clear first. Listen, I'm so... You kill me. You kill me. What do you even do here? Do you even call STDY? You don't. Wow. T put civvies. Do you even see norm or no? You don't. You don't. Bad Cop, look at this. Ready? Watch this. Clean up. T put C norm. T put clear. There you go. Trap, clean up, exit. That's how you do it. That's how you do it in bash. Now we have a function called exit that will, or cleanup that will run anytime it exits, and we'll call tput cnorm and tput clear. There you go. Now let's run part 2. Hey, look at that. We cleared the screen, and then bam. I called tput clear. I think you just call clear, actually. No, we don't need clear at the end. I'm an idiot. Let's just do it. There we go. We can also put it in the alternate screen, too. This is cool. This is really cool, though. But do you count it on the way back up? So you do backtracking to, like, count how many paths you created then. And do you keep track of how many, like, ways down it was? Or do you keep track of... Do you keep track of how many paths you got at the bottom? Like, if you make it to the same spot at the bottom, is that where you keep track of them? I could read your code. Dude, this is dope, though, actually. Like, this looks sick. Like, this is nice. This is nice, actually. So how do you feel about my solution, where I just count the numbers and converge the paths? This is cute. I like this. This is really cute. The way I've written mine, it wouldn't work to visualize it like this, but I like this. And I do like that you light up the splitter too. Like the splitter becomes red, and that counts as its own step. So like that is really cute. Nice job on that. That's really cool. Mine would have a cool visualization if I could toss the numbers in there too. If I left enough room to put like 2-digit numbers, we could keep track of them adding up. Like that'd be really cool to see. Let's see what Dark Space has. How do I... What? GitHub? It's the worst thing in the entire world. So Dark Space, you want me to look at line 20? Or did you want me to go like look at any specific part of it? Because I'm looking at this. Let's see. Because you have count timelines, dude. I barely know C++. That's the main algorithm. Okay. Okay, you have your grid. You have the current line, the current X, and you keep a map. And how do I read this? Is the key of the map a 2-ints? Why does a map take 3 things? Am I stupid? Or is this the entire key? No, it's a pair. A pair of ints, a U64, and a hash tuple is the key of the map. Am I reading that correctly? And the value is a cache? Dude, I don't know this language at all, man. Doesn't have a hash for pair. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. You have to use the standard pair. Okay. Wait, hold on, I gotta understand this. Oh my god, dude, indent hell. Look how deeply you get. Yeah, post a paste bin of yours. I'm cool with that. Get input. Keep track of your end splits here. Okay. You don't have a part 1 and part 2? You just do it all in main.cpp? Interesting. Yeah, so let me see. Wow, this is wild. Okay. That's part 1. Okay. Okay, so you literally just you recursively go into it. Okay. If you're not past the bottom. Okay, so that's your like end condition basically. This is interesting. You get rid of the main timeline for it, but you add 2 because you add the left timeline, the right timeline, and you get rid of the main timeline because you've split effectively. That's interesting. This is an interesting way of doing it. Huh. Hold on, I got some more. Let's see what we got here. Got a paste bin here. Yeah, it's a clever way of doing it. I wouldn't have thought of that, but I like it. It's very clever. I never use paste bin. All right, so we got Fog the Catman up here from Twitch. Brother, what is happening here? I don't know how to read this language. All right, so we read this file. I got nothing. I have no idea how to read this code, man. I have absolutely no idea how to read this code. I'm going to be honest with you. My bad, dude. I got no idea how to read it. This is basically your algorithm. Of course, is that to me or is that to Dark? Because that is a Reddit one, right? So I'm guessing it's going to be like some sort of visualization. Yeah, that's my visualization. I mean, that's like my algorithm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's 7. That's 7, and then the 4 becomes the 11. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a really cool way of visualizing it. Here's more of a math solution. Only one line at a time, relatively short. Ooh, and it's in Rust. Okay, good. It's something I can actually read. Oh, a language I'm comfortable with now. Was Dave even aware of making Pascal's triangle, or you just get there from first principles? Dude, I got there from first principles. Absolutely. Oh, man. You're new to Rust? Oh, okay. I like Rust. I do it like it's part of my day job. I really, really like the language. Okay. You read the file in. Okay. Yep, read a string. That's fine. Okay. You make a hash set. You make a vector of splitter index. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Let's go for this. 4 line and lines. You find the S in the line. If you found it, then you keep track of the index, and you set the result of that index equal to 1. So you initialize it basically where the starting value is. That makes sense. Then you find all of the matches of these. So you actually find where all the splitters are. Yep. This is very, very simple. Wow. You basically build an index of every splitter you have found on that line. If I equal, let I go, tachyon index contains, then tachyon index is the thing where you put the starter in. Okay, so you're checking to basically see like if there's a beam there, or if it's like being used. Okay. Then you have the splitter index, add the adjacent indices to be tracked. Then you have the, you do a, you actually do like check subtraction and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun when you're dealing with U's and I's when you're integers. This is crazy. This is a crazy thing because you only read the data once. You just loop through line by line keeping track of things. This is clever. This is very clever. Wow. You solved it in C and we did the same algorithm? That's awesome. Let's see what we got here. Another one. The Flying House says, well, I don't know what you say because when I highlight it, it covers your message. That's cool. Just my core Go function doing the same algorithm with nested for looping. I did a simple DFS plus cache. Yeah, I wonder how many people actually ended up doing that. Oh, Go, a language I can't read. Although it is pretty readable. So you're starting at the one beyond the starting point. Okay. This is really clever. I mean, this is like the simplest version of that algorithm. This is really nice. Wow. My solution, by the way, is grabbing all the splitter pointers and using a frequency map, pretty much the same as you did. Yeah, that's clever. That's clever. Hey, yo, just finished day 6. I just finished day 7. So we are all caught up. Yeah, so I am ready to go. I'll pull this up. So I just finished day 7. We are as caught up as you could possibly be, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Finding out I did relatively well as a mega confidence boost. Yeah, dude, like that's a really, man, when your code is that small, like it's a good sign. What language are you using? I'm doing it in Bash. Bash scripting, like you were writing shell scripts for the terminal. I'm writing programs in Bash. Why? Because it's fun. I do have a private leaderboard if people wanted to join. It's in my Discord, and it's for You Suck at Programming. So anyone who's like watching my channel is familiar with You Suck at Programming, which is my YouTube channel, the name of my Instagram, all that fun stuff. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta check. I'm stupid. I gotta check my YouTube subscriber count. Oh, my YouTube subscriber count is 65,513. The reason I bring that up is because when I hit 65,535, I'm going to screenshot it in this app. So I'm 22 YouTube subscribers away from this beautiful screenshot. I gain about 200 subscribers a day. Thank you, everyone, for hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. That's super cool. So, 100,000 subscribers is coming 2026. How awesome is that? So yeah, where's my leaderboard thing? Here's my private leaderboard. This is for people who are a part of my like You Suck at Programming, whatever. Anyone's free to join it. I think there's a 200 member maximum on it. So yeah, feel free to join it. There's a code for it. Was it on the previous page? Is it not on this page? Others can join it using this code. There you go. So we can use this code. And I will put it in both the chats. Unsubbed. Listen, get out of here. Mods, kick this person. There you go. So, if you guys want to join the leaderboard for the You Suck at Programming thing, and go ahead and join the Discord. There's a lot of people talking about it, which is pretty cool. A lot of fun stuff. Did I post a message saying I was streaming? Oh god, I hope I did. I did. Okay, look at me. I'm awesome. I'm pretty bad at Discord, to be honest. I'm not a mod on YouTube, so... Oh, Ash, are you in the YouTube chat? I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, I'll just give you mod powers. What if I just wrote a song from scratch for the next hour? Would that be a fun stream? I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 2 hours, but I do want to do that puzzle. Bad Cop, are you still here? Are you still around? Would you be down to race the puzzle at midnight? Midnight, not your time, but when the puzzle drops. Yeah, what up, Ash? Let me give you a mod real quick. Add as moderator. You are now a managing moderator of the YouTube chat. There you go. Bam. Let's see. Hold on. We got another paste bin. Paste code. Sounds legit. Time to ban. All right, what do we got going on here? Sweezy Man shares this in Twitch. What is this? Go? Yeah, it's Go. Oh, it also says Golang. Okay. Split the inputs. Okay, width and height, easy. Your main method finds the S. I don't know what the spawn keyword does in Go. Starting X, starting Y. make cache. Oh, sorry, I said I don't know the spawn keyword. It's not a keyword, it's a function you wrote. I'm an idiot. So you call spawn on key of that and make cache. So is make a function? Make is a function that you pulled from something. It could be like built in a Go. I literally don't know. Okay, so you spawn this, you take a key and a cache. If the cache is not equal to 0, then you just return it. Otherwise, you have to go actually find the value, and the way you do that is by looping the Y values looking... What are you doing here? Are you just doing a breadth first search? Is that what's happening here? Make is built in? Okay, cool. Is this just a breadth first search? This is pretty clever. Yeah, you just loop through it for all the Y values. You check the character. If it's a splitter, then you grab the one to the right and the one to the left, and then you set the cache equal to whatever that one is. So then at the end, your cache is... Yeah, look at this. Return cache A and B. Okay. Interesting. Oh, and you have this in a for loop. Even though you return from the for loop, you have it in a for loop because technically you could hit a line where there's no splitter. So you keep going until you hit a splitter, basically. Once you hit a splitter, then you cache the left-hand side, you cache the right-hand side. You return the total of both of those. Put it in the cache, and then when you get down here, you can just format that variable that you have returned there. That's interesting. Wow. There's some things about Go I guess I have to learn, because like that seems super simple. That's awesome. Oh, man. Yo, where's everyone in the chat? Where are my fellow tinnitus sufferers? Oh my god, it's brutal right now. I feel like crazy head pressure. The ringing's nonstop. I'm going to see a specialist for the ringing in my ears. That's how bad it is in a couple weeks, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be my Christmas gift. Oh, man. Yeah, it sucks. Tonight is brutal. Ash, I don't think you are right about that one. Yeah, Tinnitus from jet engines doesn't sound good. I don't know what mine's from. I've had it my whole life, but it got really bad like it's not a joke. It got bad around 6 to 7 months ago. I don't know why it's so bad, but like, it's brutal. I sleep with a white noise machine. Like, oh man, it's fun, man. It's fun stuff. But we'll get to the bottom of it. Yo, what's up, Narf? How you doing? I see your message. What were we saying? Acutely incredibly loud for 5 to 30 minutes about every week. So, dude, it sucks, man. If I wasn't doing computer programming, I'd be going into figuring out what causes this because it is brutal. Yeah. Put my gist in Discord. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take a look. What do the numbers next to the stars and AOC leaderboard? It's a point system depending on like how many puzzles you've done and how fast you solve them. I don't quite know how it works. It's probably explained on the website, to be honest. I don't know. I don't care much for the leaderboard. I just like to do the puzzles because they're fun. So I couldn't tell you much about them. I have not seen the UI UA solution, so I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, here we go. We got mini solution. Copy text. Go over here. Paste. I pasted in your entire message like an idiot. Here we go. Taking a look at a mini solution here. Oh, Rust, let's go. All right. You have beams. Okay, you make a new hash set. Awesome. And you have the entire file as a string. Content.split terminator new line. Fun story. You might be able to do content.lines. You might be able to do .lines. You might want to check into that. I think that'll use your operating systems like Terminator by default. This is fine. What you wrote is fine. But I think there is a .lines function that will just, very simply iterate over a string based on the line terminator. Ooh, let else. I love the let else syntax. Unreachable. Interesting use of let else. If it was unreachable, I would just use like an expector and unwrap there. But, I respect this. Sorry, I write a lot of Rust. I don't mean to be critiquing this as I go through. That's not my point. I just really like the language. Okay, so we make a beam counter, beam.insert starting position. Okay. You have beams and you have beams counter. Okay, I got you. While let some line iter next. Okay, so we're looping over the file line by line. Next beam counter, we make a new vector, make a new hash set. Get the line as bytes. Oh, interesting. You're checking them as bytes. I think there's a .chars method too, where you'll get like proper UTF-8 characters that to do bytes. Okay. If it's a dot, then you insert it into the next beam and you increment the counter by what was already there. Hey, look, the part that I couldn't get right. No wonder why you were yelling at me through the screen. If it's a splitter, then you do the opposite. Oh, look at that. You're just storing the X position. You don't even store the Y position. Perfect. That's even simpler than how I was doing it. And then you plus equal what was already there before. And that's it. That's all you need to do here. Yeah, nice job. Nice job. This is very simple, very clean. I like this. I very much like this. Are you tempted to use C? I like C a lot. I wouldn't say I'm tempted to use it, but like, I definitely like C. Might as well share mine for day 7. Let's take a look and see what you got here. I should change my default browser. I don't know why it opens in the other browser. That's so dumb. In fact, you know what? Hold on. I'm here. We're not in a rush. I'm going to figure out my default browser settings on my computer because that's stupid. Default web browser. Yeah, see what? I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. In order to use Twitch, I have to use Chrome. It doesn't work with Safari. So my Twitch chat is in Chrome. And that's why when I click it, it opens up in Chrome. I'm so dumb. Okay. All right, we are looking at the Mad Gem right now. Let's see what we got right here. You have written it in, is this PowerShell? What is wrong with you? That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Get content file path. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, you're just defining these as characters. Okay, so you can use these later. Okay, okay. Write information. Dude, I hate PowerShell. No, I think it's cool that you did this. This language blows my mind. Let's see. Part 2 prediction. That's cute that you put that there. Okay. Oh, you keep track of a previous line. Okay, interesting. Yep, so if there's a previous line, because, yeah, you need to look at one below it. I peek down, you're peeking back up. Okay, same thing. You're looping over the count of the line, you get the current, you have above here, okay. If above in the tachyon source, tachyon beam, if current equals air, then you just set it equal to tachyon beam. If it's a splitter, then you set those equal to what you already have and you keep track of the splint count. Yeah, I mean, this makes perfect sense. Like, yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. I don't know what your part 2 dumb and stuff is. There's a lot going on here. Yeah. I don't know if I have time to go through all this, but... Yeah, I can't go through all this, my man, but this is awesome. This is awesome you decided to do this in PowerShell. I think that's wild. That is a wild thing to do. I want to see your golf bash. All right, we're going to look at Narf's golfed bash in the Twitch chat. So let's go ahead and do that. Makes Java seem concise. It's really funny. Brother. Oh my god, this is wild. Oh, dude. Oh, this is sick. Okay. All right, let's see what we got going on here. We got the map file, of course. Yep. You get the width is the length of the first element of the array. The height is the length of the entire array. That makes sense. Oh my god. Okay, there's so much going on here. Q equals 0, Q less than height times width. Okay, you're going every single possible one. X equals Q modular divided by width. Makes sense. If X is set... Oh, if X is 0. So if X is something, you set to that. Otherwise, you set to 0. That's what O is. Nope, you lost me. But that's incredible. I love that. I appreciate that. Oh my god, looks good to me. Ship it. Made it to 180 for day 7 part 2. That's crazy. Ash, are these puzzles available for all languages or whatever? Because I want to sound smart. Ash, don't worry. These puzzles are just puzzles. Like, they're just puzzles that you have to solve. But when they ask you to do something, it's like rotate a dial from 0 to 100 and count how many times you pass by 0. Like, you could sit there and rotate a safe thing, and every time it goes past 0, you could count it. But they give you such astronomically large numbers, it's hard to do a lot of this stuff by hand. So you write programs to help you solve this problem. You can write a program in whatever language you want. It doesn't matter what you choose. You can do anything. You just have to get the answer. So that's why everyone's showing different languages. It's the same puzzle. We've all solved the same puzzle, but we've used different ways of getting the solution. Plus, we've gotten like actual different languages in use. So that's cool. Let's see. We got Julio Rats or Julio Rats here. We have a solution in C. All right. Very simple. We got our file. We got a buffer size. Awesome, awesome. Unsigned long is to ULL. Cute. Int main. If the file is there, otherwise you read from that by default. Fine. Read the file. F gets on the file. Okay. And then you're looking for the S on the first line. Otherwise you error because you want the S to be on the first line. That makes sense. Yo, Minnie, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Get the length of the line. That's how many beams there are. Oh, possible beams. Yeah, the length of the line. Okay. Then you get an entire line from the file. You get the index. You start at -1. A size T. Can a size T be a negative number? You look for all the splitters. You get the index of it. And then you check the beams. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. You get a left beam and a right beam, and then you do this. That makes sense. You either add what you had or you... Yeah, it's my set or increment function. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Yeah, okay, cool. So I wasn't far off at all. Like, at all. This is cool. And this solves both problems. Okay, really good solution. That's awesome. You wrote some comments on reading it? Oh, man. Oh yeah, here's your solution. G is the input grid, W and H for the width and height, Q is an index operator. Oh my god. This is wild. G is the grid character for Q position, A is an accumulator array, corrects the data, 0 output reset when X is 0, and just under the splitter gate for output. Thanks, Eric, for having an empty row at the bottom. Yeah, that definitely made it easier. Oh man, it's awesome. Let's see. My C# that I did racing bit. I did the bash golf while Bad Cop was stuck on part 2 for a couple hours. A couple hours? Bad Cop, I need to talk to you. Oh boy. That's really funny. Out as well. Work tomorrow. I'll catch you live next time. Yo, have a good night. Have a good night. Take care. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping by. Yeah, YouTube may eat that comment. Luckily I see it. Is that a solution? Brother, why is there an emoji in that code? What did you just send me? Did you hack my computer with that? Brother. That's so funny. What's tomorrow? Monday? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, let me ping Bad Cop and see if she's down to race tonight. If she's down to race, I'm racing. So let's do this. I'm not roasting chat's code. I was just looking through some of their solutions to these puzzles. I can't give it my full attention. I'm actually just a little bit burnt out. I will have to stop streaming. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Let me ping Bad Cop real quick. Oh, I just discorded Bad Cop. She's actually in the chat. We can be racist. I'm down. Okay, cool. After we're done being racist, do you want to race the puzzle tonight? It's so dumb. What a dumb joke. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you're down, I'm down. Hell yeah. I will. Everyone who's here, I will be jumping off stream in the next 5 minutes, but I will be back online in the next hour. So probably an hour 15 from now, I will jump back online. I will be streaming again to race Bad Cop in day 8. But I'm exhausted. You can hear my voice getting a little sore. So I'm going to go fire it in there on some water, lay down on the couch a little bit, kind of just get my energy back up. Getting coffee? Yeah, it's smart. I'll probably have some caffeine too. Yeah, that sounds good. What do we got here? Look at that. Take a break, King. Yo, appreciate it. Ash, why are you sending me a let's see. I'm not tuning in until I'm solved, but I highly suggest not merging your chats until you both get past the no spoilers phase. Yeah, I'm open to that. I don't care. Whatever Bad Cop wants to do, so I'll defer to her when it comes to that. Ash, I'm clicking your link. All right, Ash, that's a really clever solution here. I like this. So you drew a tree and you wrote a command called command. And it says, I did it with a heart, a smiley face. There's the base of the tree. So at the bottom, you have 22-1HQ7. So that seems like a valid license plate in some United States states. So nice. Very good solution, Ash. I appreciate that. Oh my god. Do you have an IRC client? Is it Birch? I don't have an IRC client that I use anymore. I used to use WeChat, but yeah, I can do an IRC client. Real coders don't stream. Okay. Who remembers AIM chat? Dude. Oh my god. That was the best. That was absolutely the best. Going out for the night and getting a girl's AIM screen name? Please. Incredible. Incredible. I could play some music. I learned a lot of my bash from the bash channel on Freenode. Putting cringing lyrics to your AIM away message, dude, in your profile too. Oh my god, I remember girlfriends would get mad at me because I didn't put their initials with a heart and the date next to it in the profile. And I was super young, so I was like, oh yeah, no, that's valid. my god. Let me check that subscriber count. Do I have the screenshot I want? Nah. They'll come later tonight. 535. We are 22 YouTube subscribers away from me getting the screenshot of a full 16-bit worth of YouTube subscribers. So if you're watching on YouTube and you like this content, you appreciate what you see, go ahead and click that subscribe button. That would be awesome. I'm trying to get that number up. It is clearly a vanity metric and nothing else to me. That is really all I care about. I like number go big and get that nice silver plaque. It'd be a lot of fun. If you're watching on Twitch and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that follow button. You want to subscribe? You want to throw me some bits or whatever? I'm not going to ask you to do that. You don't have to. Just hit that follow button. That's like the biggest thing for me. I won't stop someone who wants to pay me. I do have a Patreon. I guess I should shout that out. Whatever. I don't care. Just subscribe on YouTube. I'm trying to get that number real high. It'll be a lot of fun. If you want to learn how to program in Bash, I have a course coming out, and it's not one of those you have to pay for this course type of thing. No, it's a free YouTube video. It'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks, so it'll come out before the year end. So there we go. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. I had an Angel Fire page in middle school. Yo, for your poetry, that's incredible. Oh my god. I dated a girl who used to send me, I think it was Angel Fire websites, and she would like put like poetry and like aesthetic photos up. And I remember like the cameras were so bad, so like they were just like super blurry photos of like band posters in her room. Dude, it was awesome. Oh my god. Oh, Dave Eddie, I have a stream idea. What's up, Bad Cop? What are you thinking? We should pair program on Linux PowerShell. I did know about that. I have learned about that. I'd be down. Dude, I don't know anything about PowerShell. Besides, instead of cat, you have to write get content. And I think cat is actually valid in PowerShell. You can read and write two files in the same line? What do you mean read and write to files? Why would I want to read a file that I'm writing to? Can't you do that in Bash? I can open a file for reading and writing in the same line? I'm so confused. You can do that in Bash. You're going to clobber the file, but you could do that. Linux has no problem with you opening a file for writing and opening a file for reading. I'm so confused. PowerShell won't clobber it. I mean, you could open the file for append. Can't you? We have file.txt here. I think I can do exec fd open and close on file.txt. If I cat file, it's still there, but I could write to it. I could say like echo, or I could say, you know, uname greater than ampersand fd, and then if I cat file.txt, it's not in there. Do I need the dollar sign? I think I need the dollar sign here. Okay, that clobbered it in a way I was not prepared for. That absolutely clobbered it in a way that I was completely not prepared for. I can do that though. I don't know what I'm doing. Bad Cop, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I've been given too much power. Let's go ahead and just close that file descriptor. I don't know what I just did. Oh yeah, we have the no clobber flag in Bash too. Which is kind of nice. You can set -o no clobber, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. If I like touch file.txt, and so now it exists. If I were to echo hi into file.txt, it'll yell at me and say I can't exist in overwriting file. So we have no clobber in Bash as well. It depends, you know, on their file system, stuff like that. I don't know how NFS handles it. But yeah, we have some fun stuff like that in Bash. The stream position was moved forward. Yeah, how fun. I don't know how you seek a file descriptor in Bash. Oh, exists an overwriting file. True. All right, guys. thank you for tuning in. I'm going to call the stream here. I will be streaming again in under an hour, okay? I will jump back on, and I will be back here in under an hour to race Bad Cop in day 8 or whatever the next one is. So go catch me there. I will be live again. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitch to get notifications. All that stuff. Be careful with Z-I. Go look that up in other operating systems. It is so painfully not portable. It's brutal. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thank you for jumping in. And yeah, cool. All right, I'll be back. How do I stop stream? Twitch, die. See you guys.